Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 11th, 2026 regular Select Board meeting of the Town of Berlin. I'm Jared Felch. To my right is Brian Davelbliss and Carla Weasel. To my left is Chris Hayward and Flo Smith, and also our Town Administrator, Vince Conti. I call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
I have to make a correction at the 7 o'clock appointment of Bob Warnick. I spelled his name wrong. I just need to add a C to that. I just want to point that out and make that correction early.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, there's no other changes.
Public comment? Yes, Chief?
The select board or the town will be looking to fill a position of the town zoning administrator. Sorry. And they also have the employee staffing study of some sort that may be going on. I'm going to strongly suggest that the select board think about not just the positions, but some of the tools of which they have. I believe that there's a lot of opportunity with the use of AI, and that right there, it could take that mundane data entry and help with that. It can turn around, rewrite policies or even procedures. You're not going to take it away from the person to review this prior to, and I get that. But I think there is a lot of hours that can be saved there moving forward.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Thank you. RHTL Partners right-of-way permit application, 107 Marvin Road.
So the permit is in your package to review. It's really just for approval. Tim had talked to these folks. They were down there already working. He reviewed that with him, and I believe that the culvert work is done.
Yeah.
And to Tim's satisfaction as well, if you'd like to speak at all to it, Tim. But, so this is really, we're ratifying this basically at this point. The work's been done and looked at by Tim. And it worked out that way because they were there. Tim had stopped by and talked to them, and they wanted to do the work while they were there rather than wait and have to come back.
Gotcha.
Does that sum it up, Tim? Anything you want to add to that?
Just more or less efficiency, you know what I mean? So they don't have to move so much equipment in and out.
And was this done just for the property owners because of the flood that happened, or like water damage, or?
No, this was the car dealership bought a piece of property down there, and they tore some buildings down and leveled a lot, and are using it for more parking. So they actually fixed the access that was damaged during, well,
okay.
It's been in rough shape for quite some time, and nobody's even done any upkeep on the driveway culvert, so part of their requirements when they bought the lot and redid the lot was to fix the access, so they changed out the culvert and cleaned up the access and put it in I think it's 40 feet 18-inch in there or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 24 inch. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Move to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
At least we got it before doing the work this time, right? Last time I think it was, we got the permit post-work.
That's what this one is.
Oh, it is too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, just,
sorry, I was reading something new. I thought maybe they'd come in advance this time, so.
Vince, you just need my signature on this one?
No, they ended up
No,
getting
I
an early start
The board
because
approves
of
it, I can
snow
take it.
leaving.
Or you can,
They got
either one.
to go in
You're
down
more than
there a
welcome.
month
Go ahead.
ahead of time. They had submitted it a while ago.
That way I won't miss it
The permit,
tomorrow.
We just hadn't been
Oh, okay.
processed, so they were
Okay.
a month ago.
I
that's good.
need to make sure I get the signed page, that's all.
Are they in compliance with walkability down there?
They're not really in the district. Oh,
Thank you.
but we have, when they've done the applications, there's a lot of issues that go on down there. Parking in the road, unloading in the road, crossing the street.
They're still parking on the road down there. I talked to one of the neighbors, they're still unloading cars and stuff in the road down there. Just not quite as frequently as they were, but they're still having that problem. I was gonna talk to him about that. I just talked to the guy, Mike down there.
Yeah, cause who was it? Somebody
Last
was there to give his personal contact information if we had issues. And we should be following up with them.
Yep. Well, they don't. Have to give them a call.
Okay, town credit card policy revision for review and approval.
So again, this is one of several to come. It's in your package. I've highlighted the areas that were changed from the old policy to update the new credit cards that we have as well, and the limit that was talked about prior. So there's really 3 areas that have been updated to reflect that. And the new cards, because we changed credit card companies as well, also comes with a, what do they call it? A 1% or a 3% back, cash back.
Yep.
So we had to address that in the policy as well.
So what was the previous limit?
5,000. And by the time the police, fire, the office, it was
So,
clearly not enough and running into issues. And when the highway needs to buy some parts now, it just adds up quick, right? And
Except for that one.
so I'm confused about authorized by the administrative assistant. Who is that?
I had that question too.
Yeah,
Should it be town
yeah,
administrator?
that should be town administrator, yep.
That dang AI.
No, it's, no. Wait, no, sorry, I had to read the whole paragraph. That is for the police.
Oh,
That's Bonnie,
okay.
yeah, sorry. I'm worried I screwed it up, I didn't.
Good job, AI. We just didn't read enough.
Yeah,
So
that's Bonnie.
is there no approval? Okay, will be authorized by the select board or the town administrator, okay. It's kind of confusing that you're doing it separately for the police. I think it should be separated out personally.
What would you like to see?
I don't know, I'd have to. I would state who holds cards, and then I would say, police purchases, purchases
Right.
for the police department have to be approved by the administrative assistant, purchases for the town treasurer and the fire chief have to be approved by the select board or the town administrator.
So you wanna see it broken down by holds, cards?
And then purchases that are not authorized by by either of those
Authorized.
are not allowed.
Hold cards authorized, and what was the third one?
Can I do it after?
Yeah, yeah, you can send it to me. It's in there.
That's new cord?
I don't know if you want to have one.
He comes over to the office and goes to the treasurer, gets taken.
Usually most of the stuff that we buy is through a bill, through an account.
So we're gonna hold this and,
Yeah, I'll get her edits and I'll put it back on the next agenda. Again, we just, yep. It's
I
one
think it'll
that
just
we
be
need to-
clearer,
Yeah,
it's
no.
the same, says the same thing, it's just saying it a little differently.
I'll make the changes once I get those, and I'll send it out to all the board as well in advance.
okay. Thanks, Vince. Fire department truck committee discussion and request for approval.
The chief is here to talk about that one. Chief Stiles.
So this has been a discussion for quite a few years. We have aging fleet. And our workhorse of the department of that fleet is the rescue truck, which is 25 years old now. And it has seen better days. I have had Jimmy Peenard, who used to work with VTech in Williamstown. He built the truck. He is currently a resident here in town and had been able to perform some maintenance to it until he decided he wasn't going to do that work anymore. but he's telling me that the life of that truck is the horizon. And does need to be. You know, I'd like to put the, what do we got? I would like to put together a truck committee with my chief officers, a member of the select board, and a member of the town, and who that would like to see, somebody who has some mechanical knowledge.
Mhm.
And I have spoke to both Vince and probably the individual from the select board. I'd love to have them sit on that committee. At the same time, my town resident would be Jimmy Pinard, who knows all about trucks. This truck that we're looking to replace was built to be everything to everybody, both fire suppression and motor vehicle accidents. Doesn't do well on any one of those because of that. This would be strictly for motor vehicle accidents. That would be my suggestion. So I don't know if there's any discussion.
You said how many people you'd like on the committee? 5?
5. In my last spiel with the AI, we currently use that to track age, wear and tear on our vehicles. Right now, it's under a private license, a personal license, and it's not under the town. That was been a discussion that I've had some with Vince. But you're able to see the cost per truck, per hour, per mile, however you want to look at that. And before making a recommendation, coming to the select board, all that information be shared.
Would this truck be used primarily or only for motor vehicle accidents and not for fire suppression?
I'm going to say it could, because I would like to be thinking about quick attack or mini pumper, something that's 4-wheel drive. That's where most of motor vehicle accidents happen or in the winter. But could navigate some of those narrow, long driveways where you need a pump up on scene and you can't put a big truck up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. A fire truck has to go out for every motor vehicle accident. Is that true?
When we're called, yeah.
So that's,
Some of it's just cleaning up debris. Some of it's traffic control.
Yeah.
Some of it's a motor vehicle fire.
Yeah.
Either way, you need to stabilize the vehicle. And again, you're out on the road. That's probably the most dangerous place we go.
Any questions?
So what are we taking any action? Are we doing it?
Yeah, approval for the fire truck committee.
So
I was about to say, I'm guessing it was Chris.
I did look at the truck and it needs some stuff addressed, even if we're gonna continue to use it over the next however long it takes to get a replacement. There's some maintenance stuff I saw that needs to be addressed, so.
So we're moving just to start the committee. And appoint Chris as the representative of the select board.
And Joe,
And then Jimmy Pinard as the town resident.
then the rest of the other 3 will be the chief officers.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
a second. Oh,
I moved it, yes.
second.
I just wondered how long it takes to get this truck once you've made your decision and approved it. Once you've ordered it, is it a year and a half or
It's going to
get
be
built and delivered?
at best 14 months. And that's a cookie cutter. if you're getting a full size and you're going to design it from the ground up, you're looking at somewhere around 24+ months.
Uh-huh. But for
Full
this,
size truck,
but for this one, which seems smaller, 14 months maybe,
maybe.
it's just going to keep that time factor in mind.
And as soon as we replace this, you know, the aging fleet is one of those things that I inherited.
Yeah.
Okay. There's many trucks that need to be on a rotation of some sort.
Yeah, and I think that's something we'll definitely address in the CIP and,
Yeah.
and needs to be addressed for sure. So we have a motion on the floor. We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. It's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
157 Ayers Road well salt discussion.
Yes, you've got a couple of emails in your package along with the results of the tests that the owner did. I did talk with, just to brief the board before you go into conversation on this, I did talk to Craig today about trying to get eyes on that. I know there's been some attempts to contact the owners, but we have not been able to reach the owners yet. Craig is more than ready, willing, and able to do that, but he would also be a lot more comfortable if we had the owner's permission for him to go on the property before he does that.
Right, yeah.
So we just need to give the okay for us to go after the permission to contact the owners, and then Craig already has samples, not samples, he has the bottles to get the samples. Once the homeowners agree and such. So that's really where we're at right now to get more information on it, right? Yeah, is the well head underground or is it 18 inches above? And you know, look at all that stuff. So
So the testing, we're doing that as the town?
we will do that. He is experienced at drawing samples and all that, so he will draw the samples himself and then get them tested.
Send it to the state and
Yeah.
the state test it. Okay.
Yep.
I don't think we need to vote on that, do we?
Not really. I just need the go ahead
Yeah.
to get Craig the permission from the owners.
Yeah.
Do we
To reach out
document
to them.
the contacts we've made? Has that been documented in case they come back and say no one's tried to contact?
The only contact that we've made so far is through email, right? There hasn't been a face-to-face
So
communication.
we got email trail though.
Yeah, we've got some emails where we've responded, yep.
Okay.
That started even before this board, actually, so,
And they approve to
yep, okay.
have Craig.
It's on me, then I will work with Craig and keep going on that.
Route 12 property discussion and decision.
That's the Moyer property, and Kelly is here to talk a little bit about that. So that's a property that's been flooded, like by the little brook that runs by it, probably 2 or 3 times. It started this activity about the town doing a buyout with that started when I was here prior. And Kelly will probably give you better details, but the attorney's been involved. He's been talking to the bank. The bank is not cooperating, that holds the mortgage, because what we believe is that they've already written it off. So there's some issues with that. And the taxes are so high that it's more than what the property is actually worth at this point. And I'll let Callie, if I missed anything, I'll let you fill in the details on that if you'd like.
Yeah, so this property was supposed to be a buyout, I believe, from Irene. We had a contract.
11?
Yeah. Yeah,
I told you it started a long time ago.
yes, it did. So it was going through the process. We had a contract, basically everything was all set for demolition on that property, and because there wasn't that clear title for the property, FEMA would not buy it out. So if they had bought it out, basically everything would have been
Done.
cleared
I
up.
know.
The property owner is not responsive to any communication either. The property was taken off of the tax rolls in 2006. The last tax bill was for 2016. It was put back on by the board I'm shaky if it was by the board or not, in 2024. So there's a good chunk of time where there weren't any taxes accumulating because they were dealing with FEMA and didn't want to bring it up. So because FEMA has pulled out, we basically were going to take it to tax sale. We brought it to tax sale and were unsuccessful in selling it because the taxes on it at the time were $35,000. They're now $38,000 on this property. So no one is gonna buy a third of an acre property
In the floodplain.
in a floodplain for $38,000 plus legal.
So is that because we went all the way back to charge the taxes during the negotiation period?
So there are taxes due from 2012 to 2016, and then 24 and 25.
So the option that we're considering, sorry, Callie, just want to jump in right now that the town attorney is investigating to make sure we're okay to do if the board decides to go that route, is just to abate the taxes down to $1,500, which is the lowest that we can go, and put it back up for auction with the hopes that somebody will buy it for that and get it back on the tax rolls.
What would the 23 and 24 taxes be? Or whatever the most recent?
The last
24 and
2
25.
years,
425, yeah.
so I want to say it's about $4,000 to $5,000 a year.
Really?
Can somebody rebuild on that? Really?
If they wanted to, I'm sure it could be grandfathered for the lot size. It's already, it already has a structure on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
structure is
the
no good.
flood regs are, if it's in the flood,
It's not in a floodplain. It's actually outside the floodplain, but that brook has wiped it out a couple of times, right? I mean, if somebody had the wherewithal, they could always build up the property a little higher, right, along the bank there, and
so it's not in the floodplain or the flood hazard area.
correct. It's just outside it. The river's across the road on the other side and much lower. It's just that little brook that runs through there.
It runs down, and just how it runs down it.
It runs right beside it.
It does, yeah, absolutely. It's a third of an acre and the brook is like right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 10 feet off the gable end of the house, yeah.
So per the state law, taxes, there has to be 2 years delinquent, and it has to be at least $1,500 for us to bring it to tax sale. So that would be the lowest.
But do we have to abate it, or are we allowed to just accept less money?
You can't accept less money. We would have to abate it and go back.
The statute.
You cannot accept less than what's owed
Really?
for taxes.
That makes no sense. I mean, it's our money. We should-
Confusing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was gonna suggest we just do the two previous years and wipe out the other years, abate those years, but if that's still too much.
Yeah, cause you're saying like 10 grand, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's,
Yeah, and
With-
and again,
24 and 20.
part of the reason we want to go as low as we can, right, is to make it attractive because, somebody's gonna have to foot the bill for the demolition of the building that's on there if they want to put a new structure on there as well,
Yeah.
right? And maybe raise it so it's up out of the Brooks danger zone.
Can we decide or write that up that it has to be cleaned up? So the only issue I see is that the current owner realizes that all these taxes have been abated. And they step forward and say, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, well, that's why it has to sit for how long, Callie?
a year.
A year.
So
Right.
there's a year redemption period on any tax sale.
Right.
So the person would have to then, the property owner itself would have to pay back what the property was sold for plus 1% interest a month to redeem the property. If they don't, then it goes on to the person who bought it and they do whatever they'd like to with it.
It's complicated, it's a little complicated.
Always.
So this is an interesting thought because the property owner could then pay $1,500 and get the property free and clear.
I, I would suspect that.
Correct.
Well,
So that's a little concerning, right?
Very concerning. Yeah.
Yep.
This is not this is not a property the town would want.
No.
no, you know where it is. It's next to, yeah, okay. I mean, it's a postage stamp. It's a piece of property that, you know, we're better off getting it back on the tax rolls.
Does the current owner, have you had any contact with them?
The last contact, I think, was when I was here before with him. We actually got him in here to sign the documentation to move it forward with the FEMA buyout. And that's the last contact that I'm aware of.
He didn't respond to the attorneys for the last tax sale. So there was no communication with that because we send certified letters, they send certified letters. And there was no communication back from him.
Does the person live in the state still or the town still?
Barry, I believe.
There's nothing to prevent them from buying it back.
No, they have a statutory right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but if he does, it goes back, he starts paying taxes again as well, right? It's back on the tax rolls.
Right.
It's more than we're getting today. That's my only thought on that.
Could be playing the long game there.
Maybe.
Hmm.
So we don't think that that the $8,000 or whatever it would sell for that.
No, the property, when the listers went out to take a look at it after the last tax sale, the second floor is falling into the first floor.
Well,
He didn't even want to go in really to look. He just kind of opened the door and peeked in and was like, it's not safe to be in there.
It's gonna cost 20 to 30 to clean it up.
yeah, I'm just gonna say, what if it's 8,000, add another 20 to 25, or maybe even 30 to.
Chief? If it's not yet, it could very well turn into a health hazard with rats and such living in there. I don't think you're gonna find any one building.
Oh, they're not rehabbing
No.
it, that's for sure.
No.
It's coming down.
Someone's gonna tear this thing down.
Yeah.
And rebuild there anyway.
Can we do a
Right.
controlled burn?
No, too close to the power lines, Eric.
And there could be asbestos, given the vintage. There's a lot of unknowns that can turn into a nightmare.
Like, could be, all like.
So, yeah.
So it's, yes, chief.
Is there any avenue that the town has to assist in the cleanup? Let's just say you don't sell it. No one buys it, whatever that is. What are you gonna do? Is there any funds available for the town to help remove it?
Not right now. The town doesn't own it. We can't do anything with it,
Well,
other than
now, yeah,
what we're trying to do now, but
just like that.
yeah.
I believe there was a question when the buyout fell through. If the town purchased it at tax sale, if the town could then apply for the buyout, and I'm not 100% sure if we got an answer on that, if it was a solid answer of we could or couldn't, but at that time it was still $38,000 and we would not get that
Right,
money back.
yeah.
So what was it, but if there's a title issue, it's still gonna be a title issue even if the town buys it. So
No,
what was the title issue?
the bank, so a lot of banks will sell their mortgages to third parties. And then they kind of
Yeah, but
get lost in the wind.
so it was that they couldn't find the mortgage? Because the title. Because the title, for a title, how they have to go back 40 years.
M&T was the bank that held the mortgage, and the attorney's been working with them, even though that they sold the mortgage off. And at this point, they've become non-responsive as well. There's no more that they can do. They said they're not gonna do anything. They don't want to deal with it, basically,
So why can't they sign off on release the mortgage?
because they don't have it, because they sold it off, right? They've written it off, is what the attorney believes, because this other, as they do, sell mortgages, what Callie's referring to, right? And so they can't go back and ask for anything from them now.
as well if they've already written it off.
And if they sign off that
It's another simple, complex mess.
if the other comes back and says it's not, that it creates a bigger issue that the bank probably does not want to get into. But if the property was purchased at tax sale, that clears all of that.
After it sits.
Because when the attorney sends out the letters for tax sale, if there's a mortgage, any lien holders, letters get sent to the lien holders. So they have the opportunity that everyone else does. If they want to clear their lien or get the mortgage back, they would buy it at tax sale. If they decide not to, their lien, mortgage, whatever goes away when the tax sale is finalized.
So if M&T sold it to a third party, but the third party isn't notified because nobody knows who the third
That's
party
what I was
is.
thinking.
Well,
I think that would be.
I believe, I think the attorney knows who it was. I can confirm whether or not they ever got a letter as well.
Hmm.
But technically, the letter should have come from M&T to them that
I
he
see.
provided, right, to M&T.
So there is a lien in the land records,
There's a mortgage.
in the land records,
There's two.
but it's in M&T's name.
That one is.
It's never simple.
No, boy, that's
Certainly not.
a good one.
So the recommendation is for it to go in front of the Board of Abatement and
That would
Start
start
that
that
process.
process to move it forward. It's been 8 years at least probably now. We've been messing around with this property. But that would be the recommendation so far from the attorney, and he's doing a little bit more homework to make sure the pathway forward is gonna be clean and clear.
Is there a statutory reason, is this included in the statutory reasons for abatement?
That's exactly what he's looking
Okay.
at now to make sure that going forward that way is the right way and makes it clean and clear for us.
So there's really no action for us to take on this tonight.
Other than that, if it comes back, I'd like to move forward with it and get it scheduled. If the
Yeah.
board agrees, right? So there is an action, because if we wait, it comes back and then it is just gonna drag it out longer, right? We'll have to get it onto another board meeting and all that. If everybody agrees that's the right approach, I would say let's just authorize me to move forward with the town attorney and the treasurer to
move it to the.
get it more of a make it happen. Right? Because then again, we're still gonna have to wait a year after we do abate it.
Well, the board's tough too, because if it's not, there's, yeah.
Yeah.
It has to meet the criteria or else it doesn't get approved.
Right. Yep.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't know if we need to move it
Do we
on.
need to make a motion?
I think we should.
Okay.
Right. And again, it should be with the clause, pending the attorney's confirmation, right? So that it's clear that I can't do anything until he's confirmed it as well. Right.
Guess you roll the die, right?
Okay, so pending confirmation by the town attorney that that's the appropriate pathway, Vince is authorized to put this forward to the town Board of Abatement.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
You okay with that? That makes sense? Okay.
Thank you, Kelly, for the explanation and background, all of you.
Okay, Browns Mill Road name change request discussion and decision.
Again, there's like some emails in your package where the requests have come in. I think I forwarded a second one to you that came in recently as well. It's not in your package. Where they actually suggested a different name other than Gatekeeper's Way. So I don't have that one in front of me.
Gateway. Oh, I have it.
Big wooden way or something.
But yeah, it was something similar to that.
Yeah, Great Woods, sorry, Great Woods Way.
Great Woods Way. So again, on that note, should the board entertain that, there will be a public hearing required, right? And we'd have to inform all the residents that live on the private portion of the road that this is going on and get the public's opinion input on that as well.
So wait, why does it need a public hearing? It's the private road.
An existing road name change requires a public hearing.
Oh,
If it was a new road, it doesn't require a public hearing, but an existing road does.
did we do that with the Berlin Mall? I don't remember having a public hearing.
We did.
We did?
Yeah. Yep. We changed the name.
Yeah, so the town maintains this 187 Browns Mill Road, and then from there,
It becomes a private road.
all the way up,
There.
and
Yep.
then those residents maintain.
Yep.
That road, okay.
Yep.
So the bridge and then
Yeah,
it's two,
just beyond the bridge, right?
gotcha.
So to the first, well, once you round the corner, it's the first house on the left. It's basically at the end of their driveway, if I'm not mistaken, or just a little bit past the end of their driveway is where the road, the town road ends and the private road begins.
And is that the same way with the extension, Browns Mill Road extension?
That's a little different. You turn left
Right,
and my opinion, that's all driveway. There's
Okay.
nothing out there but the one house at the end of that. We own 50 feet up his driveway,
Yeah.
basically. I think it's about 50 feet.
so we maintain part of the extension though, Browns
Yeah,
Mill Road
50
extension.
feet of it. Yeah. And she had a couple of other comments in the second email that I sent out to you, and I don't have it in front of me. But
I do.
Yes, talking about how the private road, would have been going through Ian Lemieux's property, coming out onto Crosstown Road, not Rowell Hill. That it's their private property and saying that her parents were manipulated by a resident, who then subdivided his land to develop more houses through there.
Yeah, and the bridge needs attention and the road
Right.
needs grading.
Correct.
So the issues I see with changing the name of that road is 911. One has to be notified, right? Whatever that process is. I imagine it's as simple as every process that seems to happen. Where you're
I'm
gonna,
just gonna say the name has to be approved by 911 too.
the name has to be approved by
I didn't know if those
911. All the residents have to change their
address,
addresses, right, to match that, update everything in the system for themselves.
and nothing I saw, none of those 8 houses that are beyond
187.
187. None of those people want change address or road name.
I haven't had any input because we really haven't had a public hearing with them yet. So I can't,
So would notifying the 8 residents of what is potentially
Mhm.
being looked at be the right approach and let them have a majority vote on it?
well, that would be the purpose of a public hearing, right?
Mhm.
To bring them in and inform them of the request and get their feedback.
Yeah,
I'm reading the first email here and I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe the second email has the exact issue with the road name. Like how's changing the name going to benefit or not benefit?
I don't see any benefit.
Is it because are they getting unnecessary traffic or? Didn't say any of that, right? So I'm just trying to figure out.
There's
I
literally
thought maybe I missed something.
no real benefit to this.
I think what
But
they're saying is like from 187
Mhm.
up the private road. That's really where the issue is
What-
from like this email. And it's saying that the town was the one that came up with the Browns Mill Road. Is there any history as to the Browns?
So-
Yeah,
before we go to history, we don't maintain it beyond that point, right?
No,
Anymore.
no,
So it's not, so is it a public road?
no. It's a private road just beyond his driveway, turns into a private road that the 8 or 9 residents down that road maintain.
So I think the point is to identify it as a different, that it's not still Browns Mills Road, whatever, however you say that, and it's a private road is what I'm thinking the naming is.
So if it's private, do we have any say in that at all?
We do if it's, oh, yes, we do, and 911 does.
911 does, yeah.
Was that on them or us?
I think if it's over a certain number of homes,
As far as naming it,
I don't
we have
know.
to submit it,
Even though it's a private road?
but the address stuff, we don't touch after that. I mean, that's all, the residents are gonna have to do that.
But I think that what they're looking for is defining where the private road begins versus the town. That's my guess.
But the town road is going to remain Browns Mills.
Correct.
Yeah,
Which then their property would still be Browns Mill Road, and then after their property
After there's,
would be then
just
the,
past their driveway, it'll turn into the private road, whatever name gets approved, suggested and approved.
I think we've been fair with residents as far as getting their opinions on what's going on around them so far with this board. And I highly suggest that we do the same with these residents before making a decision.
Yep.
I think they should have input.
Yeah, it's only 8. And the burden that comes with, I have 2 addresses and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It sucks.
So if I understand, we want a public hearing, make sure the residents get notified.
Yeah,
Again, we'll do,
definitely.
a personal postcard, their current address.
Right.
Okay, so I'll work with the board to offline to coordinate a date and have that public hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Act 181 discussion. I know there's a lot going on with this one right now.
So just a quick note, one of the board members, Richard DeVille, sent me a whole bunch of letters that other towns have written in regards to this. I didn't give everybody a copy, but I have 3 examples of what, let's see, Cabot, Orange, and Corinth had written. So I'll just pass those out if you want to look at those as well.
Should have, I think too. Everybody, we should have everybody, I think.
I think you copied that link to everybody as well.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what the question is that we're supposed to address about Act 181? In other words, what issue would this town have? What's the purpose of this discussion?
So Act 181, I'm not sure if you know any of the background of changing. So the 3 tiers, tier 1, 1B, tier 2, tier 3. I know there are residents in our town who are very upset with tier 3. Especially the rural side of things. You have a lot of farming communities who are very upset with especially tier 3. Having to go through Act 250 review on doing anything on big parcels of land. And you have farmers who have multi-generation families who like to then go and have any child that build on that large parcel of land. I think that's one example. So I think it's on as a town sharing where our residents feel about repealing some of Act 181.
Are you ready to take testimony about that here tonight?
As
How residents feel?
Yeah.
Okay, shall I start?
Yeah, while we're reading through these, I'm more than happy to have you speak.
Okay. Well, there was a time when Vermonters were very environmentally conscious. And Act 250 was written to prevent development from happening in natural areas which were unsuited for development. Some places like Pine Hill Drive, hey, the land is dry, you can put houses here. Other swamps, you're not going to do that. Act 250 was very rigid in that the rules that applied to towns and cities were also applied to the countryside. You had to go through a big review process, even though cities had developed sewer, streets, lots of things that would be questioned in an undeveloped area were satisfied by what happened in cities. Not only that, the original Act 250 proposals said everything above 1,500 feet is going to be reserved for nature. You can't do anything above 1,500 feet, and that was changed, I believe, to 2,000 feet. Now that number may be wrong, but it was higher than 1,500.
I think it's 2,500, yeah.
Okay. But what has happened with this 181? The 181 is not a threat. It's a compromise. In other words, by doing your development in cities, those places that have services all established, you can put things on smaller lots, you can put things closer together. You don't have to go through the Act 250 review. And I'm using a broad brush in my description here. Tier 3, which people are upset about, is an expansion of the protected headwater streams and natural areas. There's been a lot of work done by natural resources, Fish and Wildlife, defining travel corridors, moose, bobcat, bear, that extend from New York all the way to northern Maine. These have been mapped with game cameras and so forth, tagged animals. They know where these corridors are. There's one just north of Waterbury that crosses the Worcester Range and proceeds on up through to the northeast. This tier 3 is to preserve the genetic heritage of large and small animals across New England, across the northern Appalachians. And that's what, and again, it's higher than what would normally be developed, but could be developed. In terms of the road rule, anything beyond 800 feet extending into a woodsy area needs an Act 250 permit.
Okay.
Well, why not? Maybe that's a good idea. And I know Mr. Burt from Cabot. I've picked his cherries. Talked to his wife, nice people. They want to make sure that farms can have presentations to the public on their land without having to go through an Act 250 process. But in terms of Berlin, looking at what other towns have worried about and trying to either match or disprove what they've said, I think we should manage our own thoughts do what's right by nature. We have a lot of planning that's already gone in to development. I would say we have tier one areas all set to go.
Yeah,
There are large segments, Irish Hill, that area, that are protected. I don't think we should favor giving up protection for natural areas. I stood at the elementary school for that spaghetti supper the other night, waiting for my wife to get out of the car. And who's going to want to walk around there with a traffic sound? It's just a roar. They're going to want to be out in nature. Also, I have this thing that I printed off here that says Act 181 has already been changed. And, I've read this 3 times and I'm still not sure what it says. The legislature supposedly has struck tier 3 and the 800 foot road rule. And
Well,
there's another bill, 253 or something, it's mentioned in here.
yeah, S 325.
So my question is, do we really want to glom onto what everybody else is saying, or do we want to take care of our own here?
I think in one aspect, we are taking care of some of our own. We do have residents who are concerned about tier 3 and the road rule.
Well, I think you have residents that are also concerned about that, but want to keep it. In other words, I'm not sure you're getting, enough feedback from the tree huggers.
can I just ask, is it
Sure.
an expedited Act 250 process, or does it only look at environmental for the road rule, or do you know?
I don't know. I just heard
Yeah,
Act 250 needs to take place at the end of that 800 foot
yeah.
strip.
I'm just curious if they've made a more relaxed version of that for
Yeah.
a single family trying to do that, but
But this, I'm wondering if this is another thing you want to have a public meeting on or not.
well, my question is, we were not, how is this different from the ice out thing where we said we had to get, the select board couldn't vote to,
You talking about the pond or the?
no,
They said,
they came and asked us to write a letter supporting we couldn't because it says we can't in our bylaws. How is this any different?
Right.
It was at town meeting day.
They were here, they came to.
Yeah, no, they were here.
Meetings.
Because that was a resolution. Right.
Oh,
It's clear about
so that's
resolution.
different?
If the resolution is federal or state level, if it impacts that, it's just, we can't do that. Statute.
so we can draft a letter, but we can't draft a resolution?
Draft a letter, right, but not a resolution.
I'm not in favor of doing anything without hearing more from town residents personally.
My thought is to take it under advisement, all of the
See what's-
information, the feedback, the testimony, everything, more review. I think the letters that we've read tonight, I read Cabot's. I thought it was well written, but I'm not at a point of wanting to make a decision tonight. I think taking it under advisement is the best route, in my opinion, at this point.
I think the one thing that at the state level, they are moving forward with this. It passed the House. It hasn't passed the Senate. The amendment was read today at the Senate. As far as I know, no other discussion has happened as to what's going to happen next with S 325. But it did pass the House with, I think it was like 83 to 60. So it did have support from both sides, but I mean, it's not to repeal everything in Act 181. It's really the tier 3 and the road the road rule. Is what was amended for S325. I think there's a lot of support from the rural communities. I know Chittenden County, it seems they're in favor of Act 181 from what I'm reading and what I've heard. So I guess my recommendation is to get some more information from our residents. But for now, withhold writing a letter.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be done before we get.
I agree. I 100% agree. I mean,
The other thing,
it was already, I read today
Yeah.
for the Senate, so I mean.
I mean, they're gonna
going to be
adjourn
making.
before we probably get to this, so.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm not sure that this is gonna influence the decision much anyway.
would we involve the Conservation Commission? I don't even know who they are or what they do in town, but would they give you some feedback on this too, if you?
I guess if nothing is done, I mean, with the Senate, they're gonna be voting on this, I think shortly, either this week or next week. Again, getting all members involved in the town is what we've done as the select board so far. And I think that's something we would consider doing going forward.
Weren't they entertaining just postponing that until like 2030 and then kind of
So that would,
reenacting it then?
so that is S325.
Yeah.
So that is withholding, implementing it for July 1st of this year.
Right.
The amendment that got passed in the House was with going back onto S325. Yes, hold the implementation of that with also taking out the wording of tier 3 and the road rule. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna draw an analogy between our town or this board and the federal government, but there's just a different flavor in the air. Bison are no longer protected out west. The Forest Service has been shut down. National Parks property is being sold to the president's friends. It's now legal to hunt and fish within the national park and clean your dead deer in the rest area, in the restroom if you want to. There's just a different wave coming, and it almost feels like the challenges to the Act 181 are in that vein. But no, I understand the questions, but tier 3 isn't really going to harm anyone but the loggers.
I think there's concern for residents.
Right.
And again, there's concern on both sides. And I think it's our part here as elected officials to hear both sides. And I appreciate you coming and definitely speaking to that side. There are also residents who do have high concerns for it too. And I'll be honest, people I'm hearing from are not loggers. They
All
are,
I'm hearing about is the road roll.
yeah,
I
and
don't-
these are people I'm hearing from who are multi-generational farmers. So it's,
But I also
I
think,
think it's hard for us to put everybody in one area versus the other, because I think there's also people that kind of cross over too. So
I'm also not sure if there's misinformation out there about what it actually is, which is always a concern, so.
I think that happens with almost every bill that
Right.
passes through our capital right now.
Right, but, so I wonder if there's, but I know there's been a lot of organized efforts against this or to repeal this, so.
Yeah. So I guess my thing is that we table this discussion for now, and if we feel that in future meetings, we need to bring it back up,
I think
Then-
following it, if you want
Yeah.
to follow it and let us know
Yeah.
what's happening.
I'll be more than happy to.
Yeah.
follow it, Yeah.
And if at any point we want a public hearing,
Yeah,
Well, on the public hearing.
let me know and I'll.
I'm pleased that you're on top of this.
What's that?
I'm pleased that you are so well informed
Well,
about what's happening.
try to be. There's a lot going on down at the Capitol, that's for sure. All right, thank you. EMS contract signing discussion and approval.
Okay, so we went through this last time. There was a couple of changes that were made that I sent out. I believe and the one that I sent out, I actually had the changes highlighted in that were requested. And then the other thing that we need to formalize tonight is that we didn't go out for bid. So I did prepare a statement and had it vetted. I can read it, or one of the board members probably could read it. And then it talks about considering a motion after the statement. I don't know what the board pleasure. I can read it. It'll be recorded. Or one of the board members can read.
So didn't we
It's in your
decide,
package.
didn't we decide that it was approved if the town attorney said it could be approved?
Yep.
But we voted on.
But we need to, because we didn't go out to, we deviated from the purchasing process. We also need to have this approved by the board as well.
Okay.
That was one of the qualifying statements as well from the attorney when I reviewed it with him. We need to do that to make it correct. Since we did deviate from the purchasing policy. So
You want me to read this?
I can, you can, it's probably better from the board, right?
Chief,
Not to take away from the topic here at hand, but did we ever reach out to Northfield and talk about the other side of the, and the contract for that?
We're not, the answer is no, we have not yet. I can make that simple.
Okay,
We have not talked to Northfield about their contract yet.
different cycle.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, in regard to the contract for emergency medical services with the town of Barry, the purchase deviates from the town of Berlin purchasing policy because competitive bidding was waived. EMS services must be local to provide timely response and performance. After reviewing several options for coverage, Berrytown EMS was clearly the most suitable and cost-effective option in the board's opinion, given its geographical proximity and its ability to provide complete and full services to the town of Berlin. As a result, formal bidding provided no advantage to the town. I'll make a motion to accept and sign the Berrytown EMS contract as reviewed and written. A sole source purchase is justified for the reasons above. In our longstanding relationship with Berrytown EMS, it is highly unlikely that bidding would provide any competitive advantage for the town.
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Hospital Hill funding package for approval.
Catching up.
You're good, you're good, you're good. All right, I'll slow down.
Oh, you're good. You're good as well. Hospital Hill, I gotta look at my notes on that one. So the package is in there to be signed. That has to be signed. It should be
Did we approve that last time?
documents right here. Yes, right. And I think one board had a question about contingency. There is a 10% contingency on that. The document, and okay, those are the highlighted pages. The board does have to sign that document. And that's where the tabs are at, as well as the treasurer.
Was this the package?
That's just the normal sewer and water
Yeah.
stuff. The one I just handed you
This is the one that we're,
is the
okay.
one for the Hospital Hill funding package.
Which we approved last time.
Yes.
So it's just sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say that was, 10%?
10% contingency. I checked with Craig.
Mhm.
He stopped by and validated that.
That total project cost again was,
I had to look.
I don't remember either.
86 or 96.
Yeah.
860 or 960.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
I think it's closer to 960, but
And the other bids were over one.
over 1.1.
1.2.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think I did.
Closest was 1.1 or 1.2.
It's
Yeah.
quite a ways away, yeah.
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 And that was Hutchins. Jay Hutchins.
Jay McDonald.
McDonald.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jamie McDonald.
McDonald.
Wasn't the tag one, so okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Jeez,
So-
pulling our life away.
Buying a house again.
Can I just update the board while they're signing on the next topic?
Yes.
So when we nominated the new member, Ms. Farrell, to the Regional Planning Commission, I forgot to have the alternate nominated at that time. So I have sent the documentation in. That's wrong of me to make an assumption, but Mr. Warnick wanted to continue to be the alternate. And again, he did that before and I didn't get him on the documentation, so that was my error. We just need to ratify that with official appointment of him to the alternate position.
I move to approve Bob Warnick as the alternate to the Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission.
And I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed?
That was easy.
It's always easy with Bob.
Right?
I would include his full name too, Robert Warnick,
I'll change on the,
instead of Bob.
Yeah.
Robert
well,
Warnick.
last time I
because
called him Robert, I got,
I think he always uses his full name on documentation.
And next up is capital improvement plan review and update.
yeah. So, I'll probably be doing too much talking on this one. Just throw something at me. Right, point in time, Bob.
No.
I've been working with the consultant, again, at Stone Shore, on the capital improvement. He's the one, they're the group that helped us get this through, get it written. They have lots of experience with it. Asking for, I've asked for, what is the best way to go through this process, right? With a new board and so on. So you should have something that looks like this in your package, I hope. If not,
Did you
then I
give us the
didn't.
package yet?
No.
No,
No, you were gonna hand it out after.
Put it in here.
I think we're down to the minute.
I think we're down here, right? No, that's the only thing I have. I didn't prepare that copy of the document, so I will send that to you. And I will take one of these because we're gonna come to that in a minute. But I'll just go through it quickly and hit the highlights, right? So we basically held the orientation meeting, right? That was the first meeting that we had where we talked about the existing CIP and where it stood and a little bit of the history on that. Then it goes to a second meeting, which is a project review, which is actually not required for the schedule each year until June. But so we're actually a little early on this one, getting it started, but I think we're gonna need the time. And it talks about each flagged project. Department heads and so on get to make their case with regards to that. But going forward, we've also developed some documents, right, that department heads will be submitting for capital projects that will come to the board to be reviewed and discussed before they make it into the CIP and any revisions are done. So we're putting a process in place that we've all talked about, right? Not getting the cart ahead of the horse. So it goes step by step through this process. So I've got that. Again, it's basically this document and this document that I will send to you to review as well. Again, just to make it, get your feedback, because from what the consultant and I have developed right together. So tonight, the document that you're going to see, I'll save the rest of this for, maybe the next meeting, but tonight, what I'd like to start on is, this is the document that you have in your package that lists all the projects that were currently in the CIP, the new ones that have been provided by the department heads as well, to basically evaluate, right, for updating the CIP, which means there's 4 key evaluation criteria for this. One is, and you'll see it at the top, right? A, which says keep. It's keep as is. means everything is good, there's no questions, we're basically good to go. B is modify. You want something modified for whatever reason, right? We want to adjust the scope, the cost, or the year. So it's going to be adjusted, but keep it in the plan. Right? And then there's a C, which is defer. Move it out of the 6-year window pending further review. There's more to be discussed at some point. And D, refer to the public for input. Hold a community forum or advisory note before we make a decision on that project, right? We want to get more information from the residents. So those are the 4 evaluation categories that will be the step that we try to go through this document tonight and maybe even in the next meeting if we don't make it through tonight. Because again, we've set an hour aside for this.
Yeah.
I suspect we won't make it all. So on notes C and D though, this is the other thing that we're doing is we're making a hard link between the Planning Commission and the Select Board now on this as well as part of the process, which it should be. So C and D could involve the Planning Commission. They would, if we're going to talk about those, they need to be here to advocate for the projects to stay if the board is looking at doing something else with them. And of course, they have the statute, I always struggle with that word, my tongue doesn't work, statutory authority to present the recommended projects to the board. That's part of their role, right? So we're bringing them fully on board and moving forward with that as well. So again, projects that are identified as community priorities in the town plan, right? They bring them in to the board now, and make sure they get vetted basically before they go too far.
Vince, can I just, I know I'm a pain. I'm just trying to understand because my understanding is that, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't go through this, but is that the Planning Commission makes a recommendation to us
Correct.
on the whole capital improvement plan.
Yep, and based on the town plan, correct.
Okay, so it's not just, so it's not like they come and talk about projects, it's they actually are really charged with doing this work and bringing us a recommendation.
Yes, so again, I'll back up a little bit. That is part of the process that we've generated here. And there's a document that also planning will be filling out, same as department heads. Tim will be doing it, right? When he wants to capital.
Do they bring it to the Planning Commission or to us?
No, the department heads bring it to me. The Planning Commission lets me know they're ready, then we bring it to the board. And they have that document, right, of what that project is.
No, but you're missing my point. The statute says the Planning Commission does the CIP.
Correct.
So to me, that means that the projects from them go to the Planning Commission too before they come to us.
No. But we can go through that in greater detail. I've had that discussion with Ron as well. And we can go through that. And again, when you read these, maybe it'll help clear it up when I send those to you.
Okay.
Because it talks about all of that, right? And what that project looks like. So example there, right? What you're gonna see in this is what the players are in their roles, right? So Planning Commission reviews the draft CIP to ensure it's consistent with the goals of the policies of the adopted municipal plan. The Select Board, the town's legislative body, provides final oversight, integrates the CIP into the budget, holds public hearings, and formally adopts the plan.
Right.
Right. And then there's other, the CIP manager and department heads and what their roles are. Then there's the monthly plan, right? Phase 1, foundation and data gathering, which is late spring, early summer. And it talks about a June kickoff and asset inventory update that the CIP manager convenes, the capital committee, the planning commission, right? Phase 2 of the project, identification and submission, should happen throughout the summer, right? With the departments done with the CIP manager and the department heads. And the form that we're using should require clear project description, justification for its need, detailed cost estimates, potential funding sources, and an explanation of how the project aligns with the town plan. Like that's where the Planning Commission comes in to start vetting those type of projects. And then August is the submission and initial review. Department heads complete their, all the forms. CIP reviews them. So, and it goes on and on. I won't go through all of it, but it ties the planning in. Then it talks about the public engagement and adoption and voter approval in the spring.
Okay, that didn't answer my question, but I'll read it when you send it.
Yeah, there's more detail in there, right? And then there's, there's some guidelines as well that have been prepared. And the request form that I was referring to that everybody's gonna be using going forward. So this is all basically new, right? From even since the capital improvement plan's been approved last November. This is all just recent development to set up the process that we've never had before. So again, the idea is to have you review it, make sure it makes sense. Give me any changes. I'll work with Ron to address them and get it ironed out.
So for me,
But this is the process that we will go through, right? Every year. All these projects are already there,
Yeah.
right? And then this is the board's opportunity to decide if we want to have a public hearing on them, whether they stay as is. And you're gonna see probably a combination of all of the above. I suspect before we get through this, all four of these categories are gonna be used, right?
so going back to this, one of the things that I feel like I need in order to make these decisions is the documentation behind it, the 5-year road plan, and what year this is currently in the plan and where the funding's coming from before I can really go through and say, yeah, we should keep it. No, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like all the information is here to be able to make those
It's
decisions.
not on that list, right? But it's in the CIP.
Right, but don't you think it'd be nice if it was right here and we could talk through it?
Well,
That's,
no,
but this is what we got here, right?
Yeah.
From the last
The last,
meeting.
No, I understand. I
Yeah.
just think that it would be nice to have it in all on here, but I just.
you mean like my notes, right?
Yeah,
Threw it all down.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think what you've just talked about in the last 5 minutes may answer my question, but as you went through this process, which is really nice, I'm unsure about whether you're reviewing the CIP or whether you're talking about what we're going to do in the future when new projects, which aren't in there, come before.
Both.
It sounds like you're actually going to practice the review of the CIP by going through the steps you would go through if you had a new project that was coming in that wasn't in there already.
Well, it's both. What we're going through now is something that we'll
We'll do in the future for
Every year.
new ones.
every year, we go through the CIP and update it because things change.
Sure.
Right? Yesterday, we needed a town garage.
Yep,
We are in the process of that now,
Yeah.
right? Or we may have said, or the voters may have voted it down. So now we say, okay, it's gonna come off,
so
right? So it updates what we currently have. If something has changed, it gives the opportunity. And it gives the opportunity for the board to say, hey, I've had people chirping in my ear about this project. I think we need to have a public hearing on it to really hear if we want to move this forward before we make the final decision. So every year, the board gets to review every project that's out there, that's planned, that's gonna happen, right down to buying a dump truck for the highway crew.
Sure.
That's on there, right? And it's on
That's
every year
great,
for the next
because-
5 years.
you know, day before yesterday, I was thinking the CIP is set in concrete.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's flexible enough
Every
so
year.
that we're gonna look and
Yep.
double check.
yep. And the other part that you said was the process, right?
Yeah,
This is the first time we've had a CIP, right? So we've never had a process. So I've been working with the consultant to develop the
I
process,
love it.
to standardize it, so every board can follow it and do it the same way every year, right?
So
So
by the
we're-
time we're
bear
done,
with us as we go through our growing pains on this, right? We're all trying to get it right.
yeah, by the time you're done with the first couple projects, you're gonna understand the process.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
right?
Better understanding.
Right. So we're all
good.
experiencing this pain together. Right. So, let's see, how much time we got left? We got until 8 o'clock on this, right?
Correct.
Or a little more if you want to, but
Yeah.
again, I expect to
I mean, we-
go through this a couple more meetings if need be. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth questions and answers, and you're gonna want a lot more information than what I have even tonight, I suspect, on some of these.
Especially certain
And I
projects.
think some of them, honestly, for lack of a better term, are gonna be no-brainers as well, so.
Yeah.
If it's the board's pleasure, we can start going through it one by one and see where we go.
Yeah.
Carolyn?
I'm not in charge.
All right, well, I'll start then unless somebody wants to stop me, so.
No, we're good to
So
go.
number one is the town office land record vault space, right? That one, if anybody's been in there, the vault's getting full,
Mm.
right? And we're gonna need more space soon. But I have had a talk with, Rachel on this one. It was in for, I believe, this fiscal year, but it can be pushed out currently. She said till 2028 fiscal year, so out another year, and it's $10,000 is the estimate that we've had for what she's looking for in there to improve the filing and create some space.
You can write on this, correct?
Yep, that's yours, and I can get you more, or
You said 10,000, Vinny?
yep, the estimate is 10,000 for what she needs.
And is this gonna be, thrown in with the new, town office? I know it's a different project, but would that be the same
We haven't got
spot?
to that discussion yet.
But I think that's probably before we do a new vault.
Would it
It's
be
not a new vault. This is not a new vault. It's
an expansion?
it kind of an expansion and even a filing system to perhaps reduce the space that's currently used to create additional space. And I can, your questions make me think that I need to get what that looks like for you
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get the plan.
Potentially, can that be reused
Right.
and when it's time to grow?
Yeah.
Again, yeah, good question.
But how does that relate to the new town office? We haven't had that discussion yet. That may be something that we move forward with something there. This may go away, right? This 10 grand, because we're gonna have something else designed. We'll get it designed to the right size
Correct.
to accommodate the needs,
Right.
Right.
right?
Instead of doing it twice.
Okay, so we're gonna modify it to
Yep, this one will be a modify, right?
2028.
So the Berlin Town Center municipal presence, that's the 3.8 acres, right? So that one is in the town plan. It's goal number 4. It went out to bid for a design. And Carly, you probably have more details on what was the design was that was being bid for. In 2027, and it was for around 20 grand for that. And I should have another sheet here.
The idea was simply that we asked for a proposal for development. So we just went out, we just asked, we're trying to, if developers had ideas of how they would be potentially interested in developing the site, just proposals. We didn't get any.
Right.
That's
So
all it was.
I've got notes from
Yeah.
Tom here on this one specifically. We issued an RFQ in December of 25, seeking a private-public partnership to develop a 3.8 acre parcel into a first floor, 10,000 square feet plus or minus admin office and 50 units of market rate housing. Several developers expressed an interest, but no formal proposals were received. Conversations with developers indicated they were waiting for larger Montpelier and Barry to finalize their respective housing projects before making any commitments to Berlin.
Wow.
So that's where that project stands. Went out to bid for that and we didn't
Get any bids?
receive any bids.
The hospital didn't step up for all the traveling nurses. I don't understand.
Sounds like we modify it.
What? I guess is my question.
We could try it again.
Could you modify it to drop the 50 units of housing? Do you think that's holding it back? Or is
From what I read there.
So that's not, that was just a, let's see about a proposal, but that's not part of the, any commitment that the town's made.
Oh, okay, great.
So, yeah,
Right.
that was a, never mind.
So the town office, this is focused on the town office.
So part of the requirements of the town center is that there's a municipal presence. Whatever that looks like, could be the police, it could be the town office, it could be, I don't know, maybe a park. It could be, it just has to be something that's town owned or town related. And so that's why this is, and it's, there was a time limit, but I don't think there's any push by the state. There was supposed to be certain requirements met within certain timeframes when we got the town center.
I have a question.
Okay,
It just dawned on me. Fire station
Mhm.
is in the new town center. And the fire station was not a town entity. When. we
Oh, that's
were
right.
developing the new
That's
town
right.
Center.
that's right.
I think I need to ask the attorney if we meet those requirements right now.
I don't think you need to ask the attorney. We can talk about it. But that's a good point. But I
The
think,
town's municipal, I mean, the fire department is municipal now.
Right,
And they're
it
located
wasn't
in the
then.
town center. We have a presence in the new town center designated area.
is that part of the designated area though?
That's what I'm asking. You know that better than I do.
I can't remember. It's been so long since we drew those lines. I don't know if it is or not.
It's surrounded by the sidewalk.
It might be, but I can't remember because I do,
I'll investigate that.
I
yeah.
believe either way, we should keep it at this point in terms of the value, the history, what we want going forward, all of the involvement on the town plan. I don't think we should modify it or defer it or seek public input per se, but I do believe we should keep it.
I think, I don't know how to answer this question because it's on there, but there's no plan right now
Correct.
to move forward with. So it's in there, but it's not concrete.
Right.
So does that mean it's deferred? I don't know what year I don't know if that's a defer,
I mean, if we keep it, we make it concrete,
Does
right?
the firm-
To figure it out.
or does defer mean it goes outside this timeframe? Guess it
This
goes
map,
outside.
the town center contract,
Okay, you're right, yeah.
that's the town center.
Town center designated area.
But I think
So
if
that
we
goes
keep it, then it
across.
pushes
Yep.
us to get something else.
So yes, I mean, that you're
Like
including,
the new,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
new
yeah.
office in the
Yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah, which
I mean, you're
I know
almost up
there's
to-
needs for,
that's Shaw's.
and that maybe would
Correct.
maybe in 6 years.
Listen, yeah,
Pretty sure that.
on the other side is the fire, yeah.
Right.
No, the town center district is.
I do believe it
town
is
center
included.
designated
I just
area.
really believe it is.
The town, there's a town center
Right.
zoning district that is much bigger.
I've always.
Than
believed
the
it was included.
designated
It's
town
just
center.
something we never discussed.
that's right.
Mhm.
This is just the map that Tom had given us at the last meeting.
So
And by that, you can see the town center actually goes up well into.
This is the zoning district. This isn't the designated downtown. This isn't the designated
That's
new town center.
Well,
The zoning district doesn't meet this, it isn't in the same area. So
even though
that's what I was just
considered
asking.
the
Tim.
town center.
It's a town center zoning district, but when
Okay.
we got the town center designation, it's
Actually.
a
mapped out.
different mapped, area,
Okay.
much smaller mapped area. But yes, you're right. We are in the town center district.
Got you.
It's just, that's a zoning district.
So if the police are always at Fox Run and Walmart,
Maybe they should be over there.
we just put the police over there.
Well,
how could everything?
so Carla hit on a key point. I'm gonna just bring it back up to the recommendation, right? We went out to bid for something over there, and I'm just gonna summarize. We got no bids, right? Whether it was what we asked for or all the contractors are too busy. To me, it's irrelevant either way at this point. Do we take this back to the planning commission and say, what are we gonna do with the
Yeah.
3.8 acres, right?
I agree.
With the thought, I'm not quite done yet, because I'm getting to part of Brian's question about the town office, right? We haven't had a conversation yet about the plan for this office, right? And it's
This
too
just happened
small
yesterday.
with the police, right? We have no room to grow. We have our public works supervisor and listers out in a job trailer, right? For the last 3 years, probably. right? Not that anything's gonna happen tomorrow, but do we get somebody working on a plan? What makes the most sense for the town, right? Do we do what we did several years ago, spend how many thousands of dollars renovating this place and expanding it? Or do we knock it down and build a new building that perhaps can hold the town office and the police, or just the police? And put a town office over there. There's a lot of options out
Yeah.
there, and we're not exploring any of them right now, and we're not studying any of them right now. And honestly, I'm not sure we want to wait much longer before we do.
But didn't we do a space study?
We did a space study, but it was not done by a consultant. It was done internally.
Oh, I thought we did did we not get the municipal? I know we put in for a grant for that.
I think the Economic Development Committee ended up doing a space study on some of this stuff. I'll have to look back at the minutes.
I'm sure the one was done relatively recently, because that's sort of where we started this idea of splitting the police and the. Because, yeah,
Yeah, so that's where I think we are with this one. We have to just decide how we want to move forward to figure this out, right?
So,
The garage issue's gone away now.
right,
It only cost a little bit of money for that, but
so I think it
we've
is.
got this building and we've got that property over there and we've got the police next door.
So how does this get put forward to the planning commission? Is that something you'd let them know?
Yep, that's
I don't
whatever
know
the
if
board
that's
decides.
Modified,
don't
but-
modify, right? I mean,
and that's what I was thinking.
I'm pretty much sending back to planning commission to look into other options.
What do you want me to give them for options, though? What I just said here, basically, in the summary is rebuild the town office to house expansion and the police, or just the police here, a town office over there, or a town office here and police over there, or all of the above.
Maybe, can I just suggest that we all look at whatever that study was before we,
If there is much documented, I'll look, but yes,
because I was thinking that they did, I thought they hired someone. I just know that there was a little bit of controversy because they were sort of directing what should happen with the land over there when the planning commission was the one, without consulting the planning commission.
yeah.
That was sort of the controversy around
The
that.
last thing I read when I was looking for information on that was that it ended up being the Economic Development Committee that was doing the study. We had somebody come in and measure all the spaces square footage wise, but I didn't see anything after that.
Well, I'll look and see what I can find, but
Okay.
I think we should look at that because I think
Yeah.
that since something's already been done, it's a starting point.
Yeah, if there's something there, we can find it, and I'll look again as well.
I do believe that Vince is right as far as like. When they went around and checked all the facilities, they had somebody there that was. Maybe like a graphic designer almost, that maybe not, that measured all the spots. I don't even know what exactly. 'cause it's
Sorry,
been
I
so
don't
many
mean to
years
laugh.
Now, but like. They came around and measured everything and took inventory of like what we had over there. For adequate sizing of this, and then I think they measured this building and how many employees were here. And what exactly somebody would need for a sizable workspace and. But it wasn't like a consultant that did it, they just, yeah.
Okay, well,
It
let's
was.
see, because I know that out of that came, out of that came the recommendation or the notion that this building, I think, wasn't even big enough for the police, which I found surprising, but so somebody did some kind of analysis to see what kind of space was needed. So I think we need to start with that and see what
Okay,
that
well,
looks like.
I can find that again.
I mean, I guess I would like to see the pros and cons of the cost of all three.
Yeah,
I mean, I would like to see what it's like you described.
and maybe,
Police officer, police there, both there, police here, officer, whichever. I'd like to see all those options. I would personally, the costs associated with them.
and maybe the planning commission's charge is to explore all these again,
Right.
depending on what that study said or didn't say. Or how it was done or wasn't done. So that might be, it might be look at the options and present them to us versus, yeah.
Did we put a time on that? Like, is that a 2028 deal?
It might cost money though.
And if we don't put a time on it, then it just falls away. I'm not a big time guy, so. We
Yeah.
gotta change the time, at least.
Yeah,
the
I
time,
mean, I think we should
2027.
push the time out by a year and see where we are in a year and when we sit at the table again.
So is that
2027.
2027?
Was it even on
It's
for,
currently 2027,
Right,
right?
so fiscal year 2028.
Fiscal year 28. Is what I think. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a big project in itself, figuring all that out. I think that's a,
Yeah.
that's a big,
We're in fiscal 26 now. We're going into fiscal 27.
so can I just ask, this is a question because this is new. So
Yeah.
okay, we have this on our list. What are we actually talking about for money? Because are we talking about a study? Are we talking about an actual bill? Because if we're talking
Right
about a
now, we're
study,
talking about a study.
so that should probably be in 2027.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, next year, next fiscal year was 27. It's currently in.
okay.
And we've spent some money already for one study, right? With one bid.
The 2027 study,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that, that 20,000 is gonna change.
no.
So I'll have to get a rough idea, right, of what that's.
Yeah, I think it's great we're getting on top of it though. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, we gotta start somewhere, right? And we'll get a budget number to put in there so we know when we start talking budgets, what's gotta be in there. Okay, so a study fiscal year 27. For what we want to do with that, put on the 3.8 acres
the options.
and we'll tie this building into it as well, right? And the police.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
got it. Laptop replacements, line item 3. That's just for the town office. It's a normal cycle replacement. They should be done every 3 to 5 years.
Are these supposed to be on here? I thought $10,000 was the minimum.
Yeah, and they're more than.
Well, but each one's not.
No,
Does it
but
have
each
to be
one's
on?
not, but we need
Combined.
the budget combined, if we do 3 to 5 years, right? And we do 5 of them, if we do 5 in a year, that's gonna be 10
How
grand.
many employees do we have? We don't have that many employees. How can we have that many laptops?
We'll have another
Well,
employee
let's see,
coming in
there's
probably.
1, 2, 3, 4 at that end,
Yeah, but you wouldn't be doing them all at once. You'd be doing,
5 there, 6, 7, 8, 2 of the listers, we've got 10 right off the bat. Just on the staff side, not counting the police side, but we budget them something.
right,
There's 10 right there.
right. So if you do,
And they're about 2 grand a
you do a
piece now.
3-year cycle, you replace 3 every year.
Good.
That's probably less than $10,000.
It could.
I'm
Could
just
be.
asking because we
Yep.
don't need to have more on here than we need to have on here. Because it
Yep.
just makes it that much more complicated.
That's why we're going through this. We don't have to put it on here personally. If the total to me adds up to over 10 grand, I like it on here. But we can break it down, right?
It's on rotation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can start a rotation, but again, we've never had one and what do you do, right?
Right.
Well, 2 of them are done now, right?
Yeah.
Because they died. So we could do 1 more this fiscal year and then 3 the next year and 3 the next year, or as they die right now until
Well,
we get into a cycle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not advocating one way or the other. It's just a question
No,
because I
but
do
this
know
is
that.
good. This is why we're having the conversation though, because whatever we put in place should be the cycle for the future, and there shouldn't be any question when it comes budget time. Yeah, we know we gotta replace 3 laptops. These are the ones they are. This is what it's gonna cost us, right?
And
And it's easy to tell the residents, explain the budget. What's this line item? It's this,
and
right? Every 3 years, we can expect this.
it feels to me more appropriate for the budget than for the capital plan, but that's
That's fine.
my opinion.
I don't disagree.
So the plan with the capital plan was anything over 10, that's.
The
That was-
minimum,
that
the
was the
minimum
minimum.
that was agreed to consider, as the way that was written, that was 10.
Mhm. Yeah,
And that can go up. Remember, we were talking last time, that could be $50,000, or it could be a different amount for a building versus
Yep.
the,
Again, we're.
that's all
we're-
up to
we're-
us.
We're kind of setting the bar today, the
Yeah, yeah.
standard, right, going forward. And that doesn't mean it can't change, but we're trying to get a process working. So it's a healthy conversation. And, if we have to have it, in my opinion, if we have that for 6 meetings, I don't care. as long as we get it
Oh, it's gonna be significant.
pretty close to right,
Yeah.
right?
I think-
Get something standard that we can follow.
I think keeping that threshold down, I mean, something as simple as laptop, it doesn't seem like a big deal, right? But we just discovered that there's 12 real quick that you rattled off, and there's more than that.
Yeah.
Because we got the police too, even though it's separate. So, I mean, it's 10 here, it's 10 there.
And I'll tell you,
Right there.
one of the things come budget season I'm gonna propose is for all the volunteer committees to have the chair of each of those to have one town laptop. They're
Yeah.
using personal laptops to do conservation commission meetings and so on. You don't see that as a need?
So,
Okay,
but
I'm
question,
still gonna bring it up.
why aren't the police on here if we're doing,
They're on here, they're
Oh.
later down.
Yeah.
why would they have, why would they be on a different line item?
That's the way Ron and I decided to do it. That's the only reason. We
Okay.
can put them all together,
For
probably on a different cycle.
tracking departments,
Well, and that's,
right?
and it's in
Mhm.
the CIP separate too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
I mean, that makes sense. Fire, police, they
Yep.
should all be.
All,
separate.
yeah, they're separate as well.
I mean, I
Does
think
it though?
it makes sense to start a cycle. though.
Well, it isn't, but
It does.
to have an idea of the control, to control each department, I think it's good to know,
Mhm.
it's $1 million here, it's $1 million there.
Yep.
Whereas if it's all one, it gets
I know we did talk about
lost.
laptops for the select board as well.
Mhm.
Did we look into the cost of the paper that we,
I haven't,
no, and that's
I haven't
fine.
got
No,
cost analysis from that perspective
Yeah.
yet, no.
Good point.
We could not take that huge paycheck and get apply it towards a laptop.
I'm not quite sure it could cover it.
So how would you start a cycle, Vince, if you were start like the laptop replacement, just
Oh, yeah.
for this office, how would that look?
We,
Like, it would just, what would you think?
right now, because everything is where it's at.
Yeah.
And aging out. I would probably say do, three a year.
Mhm.
2 have already been done because they failed. And, if we have 3 fail in a year, those are the 3 that got done. We keep a record of it, right? Which again, we haven't done a good job of in the past and say, okay, these were just done. So 3 years from now, right? They go on the list again, right? And they just build the list as we go through the failures.
Every department has their own cycle.
Yep. Every,
And not
yeah.
just one big cycle. It's
Right, right.
Okay.
The police will have their own cycle, because again, some of theirs are even older, I understand, than what the town office has.
because there's this 2027 right now for laptops.
What's that?
There's this 2026 for laptops, actually PD.
Yeah,
That's now.
yep.
So I think a modification with the cycle replacement on this one, unless other feedback.
should we put something in there also? Yes, 3 a year,
Yeah,
but
I'll,
also
what I'll do is I'll
contingency
I
with
think.
I'll
one or
do a little
two.
more work and see where we're at for failures
Yeah.
on this, or what years we currently have. Right, and try to set that up by owner, basically, so it'll be, maybe zoning, assistant clerk and treasurer, right? For this fiscal year, based on the dates of what they have right now.
Do we have an inventory? Asset inventory?
Yes. Yeah,
Good.
we do.
'Cause, I mean, that's how they do it at the state.
Yeah.
Every computer has a number, it's assigned to somebody,
We
they
do,
check
so-
the assets every year.
So I'm gonna go off base just a little bit to answer that question a little deeper. The other thing that I've been working on with the consultant is an electronic asset inventory document as part of the CIP program.
Mhm.
Right? I have some trial software right now that I'm testing for him that they've developed. That has that asset inventory list. I've gone through phase 1. I'm headed into phase 2 where I actually get in there and start updating that asset list as well. And I'll show it to you when it's ready, but once that's done and with this, a keystroke, you guys will be able to go in and look at everything that's in there and see it and, print it out and so on. So yeah, we do have one. Is it 100%? No, but I'll bet it's close to 90%. And I've got to tweak it.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, trying to get some processes.
We
in
got all
place.
kinds of hands.
Ally?
With that program or police fixed assets?
No, you'll still keep the NEMRIC model.
Okay. Okay,
And the only thing we'll have to do is align Nemrick and what's in the CIP document, so they're basically one and the same.
that would be wonderful.
I don't think, planning commission, conservation commission, economic development, we should have a town-owned laptop for each of those agencies or groups. They shouldn't be doing it on their own. And I'm not sure what you just described, Vince, but it sounds like you were planning to arrange for backups monthly or weekly to what's being developed on these town-owned computers. There should be a backup program.
Oh, there is. Our IT services, it backs it up. I'd have to look again. I don't remember the frequency, but I want to say it's either every 24 or 48 hours. The system is completely backed up.
That's great. And so
Yeah.
the planning commission work that gets done off-site is going to be backed up.
It would be,
Yeah,
right?
If it was a town.
In the system, yes. Currently, it's not.
yeah. It's,
Right.
I agree. I think maybe they should be.
Yeah.
Because if somebody gets upset and walks out of a committee, a board or something, and it's their personal laptop, that's too bad. But if it's ours, at least we have the work that's been done and some footprint.
I can just say that I did not keep, I just don't think that a lot of work gets done on the laptop. I think a lot of it gets done by, or is facilitated through the staff assistant. And if I did anything, I would send it to him. So I wouldn't, there would have been nothing that I would have had that Tom wouldn't have had. I mean, I know that's me. I realize I'm speaking for myself, but it just, I don't find that the work of the chair is conducive to really needing a laptop from the town.
It's issued to the chair, but if there's a secretary on the committee, right? The minutes, right? Any actions or decisions, the documentation.
But Tom, I mean,
Well, that's the other option is there has to be a staff assistant there then with equipment, right?
who already has a town-owned computer.
Yeah. But does the staff assistant do the conservation commission? Do they do the DRB?
I just think that we've got bigger fish to fry than getting laptops to the,
Well, it's
that's my
not on here
opinion.
yet.
That's my opinion.
It's not on here yet, right? It's out there to discuss. Maybe it's not, maybe it's 5 years from now, but that's why we're talking about a 5 and 6 year plan right now, right? If we see it 5 years from now, we need to start talking about it. We need to start thinking about the budget for it.
Yeah.
That's the whole intent.
I mean, with the digital change of everything, we might not have paper sometime soon.
And again, we're always at risk for public records requests
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
So if people are in a meeting and doing something like that,
There's just a lot of liability to have a town-owned laptop with volunteers. All that information is public information.
yeah,
I just don't.
but you gotta have a policy, right? And you gotta have security.
But
on it.
there's no, it's different than if it's an employee, because if they don't abide by the policy, I mean, we can talk about it. I just feel like it's not
That's
a good
fine.
idea.
Nope. Okay. Okay, so we've made it through 3. But it's healthy. I think it's
It is
healthy.
healthy. No,
Right? We're making progress. As painful as it might seem, we're making progress. The next one, item 4, is the Central Vermont Regional Bike Path. And again, I'll read Tom's and Carla can probably add to it. So the Rec Committee and Planning Commission have been working to connect Berlin to the regional bike path. Efforts have focused on the acquisition of a 100-acre parcel that has access from Midway Avenue and Vine Street.
Oh.
Owner of the property is amenable to the sale of the property. Several grant funding requests from the state of Vermont have been denied. That's the latest. And I don't know, Carla, if you have anything to add on that one?
I don't know how the purchase of the land is connected to the bike path thing. I mean, I guess it would add to it, but
I think
I feel like they're two separate issues, maybe.
I think it links to the path, but it adds additional trails.
I mean, I do think that the that land purchase, it looks like the price has gone up since we first talked about it, but, it was a really good deal at the time they first offered it. 150,000, I think. And basically, it allowed them to keep the solar facility, but we would own the land. I think the price is now up to 175 or something,
I
but
think he said here it's around 200.
well, it's gone up that much. Anyway, so yeah. I don't have much to add to the bike path, no.
Is that land floodplain?
No, it's up on off Vine Street.
Okay.
And on the Bearmont Play Road, and essentially the solar developers put in a solar field, but it was 150 acres. And they were only using one small open area, so they offered the town the option to buy the land to create a park or to do whatever they wanted to do with it. And then once the solar, I believe, once the solar is, do you remember, Joe? I think once the solar outlived its existence, we would get that too. So that could have been like a field. It was a flat area that could have been made into like a ball field or something like that. So anyway.
Is that this one right here? It says in progress,
Yes.
CD bike path?
Yeah, I think the in progress means it's in the planning stage
Okay.
at this point. And there was, I think, $20,000 allocated to that already.
For what,
Planning,
20,000 for planning?
planning includes, doing probably a consultant study and those type of things.
That's 20,000. It's been used now already now, or is?
Some of it, I don't know the balance. I'd have to check.
Yeah,
So
this one I'm not familiar with.
so the property keeps going up and we're spending money on conducting a study.
I think Tom put the property in there but I feel like they're separate things. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong now because I haven't been paying attention as much to the planning commission these last few months, but because the bike path idea was more like at one point we talked about putting, like signage through town. Joe, do you remember what this is?
Because I feel like these two under this community and recreation are kind of combined there because it's the community park at Vine Street, which would be the property.
Yes,
And then the Central Vermont Bike Path.
yes,
So they are technically two different,
that's what I thought.
but I think you combined it.
Combine them?
Yeah.
But they're not on
Very
here.
well be.
Because I don't know.
We're allocating money to property we don't even own.
I don't think so. There was a study about connecting to the Northfield and the Montpelier bike path. That was a separate, totally
That
separate.
feasibility study was what this 20 cal.
totally separate from the purchase of the land. There's been no money spent on that land.
Okay. And I don't see it on here.
It's not on here. They're listed all.
Which one?
The park.
The community park at Vine Street.
Yeah.
So we can't even do anything.
Yeah, it's,
So should we add that?
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to find out about it. I'll have to ask.
We did 67 at the end.
So we have that combined now. Is that how we're leaving it for right now? Vince?
I added it to the end. Number 68.
I added it to, we do whatever you want.
Yes.
Combine it?
No, well, we'll make it a separate line item. It's,
Okay.
as Carla said, she believes it's a separate project, so.
And I don't know the status of this, so I think I can't make a decision on this thing because I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so we can come back to that one at the next meeting, perhaps?
Yeah.
We'll get more information. This one. Revisit.
Town.
How much public input was there on the bike paths?
I have no idea on that one.
Usually
I'd have to
whoever
research
does,
that.
usually the study requires some sort of public input phase. But there's a lot of desire for like those connections with the bike paths, I think, throughout the town. I mean, at least we've seen that in the past. I don't know what the update is right now, but that's what we've seen in the past, to be able to connect to the Montpelier bike path and connect to the Northfield trails and sort of have a larger connection, you know, without having to go down a road or something, but we also did talk about like going up Stewart Road or, and making paths that would go to, so this was, some of this is, these are the things I'm remembering, but I don't remember what the,
Out of some of those groups, I'm not part of one, obviously, or I'd have more information. Or I wouldn't ask these questions, but do they raise a lot of their own money to put towards these paths, like, say, the snow machine groups, they have vast and they, I mean.
Trail maintenance, right? Trail maintenance.
Yeah, and trail maintenance, or do they often lean towards towns to just kind of foot the bill and pave the way?
well, it's not, I don't think that's, I think it's more about identifying the paths versus like creating, there's nothing that we're gonna maintain because it's the road.
Right.
Unless it's like a trail, you know, a trail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm referencing over there behind the bowling alley.
Yeah,
Because the Barry has a group that has something to do
Yeah.
with that, right? And I think Montpelier,
probably.
so,
I mean, we don't have, I don't believe, I mean, there might be a biker group out there that we
Right.
could consult with, I think, on these types of projects, which I do think there is one, I don't remember the name.
Mamba.
But I don't think we have a Berlin, other than the rec committee or the conservation committee, and they don't. Yeah. They typically use funding for other purposes, you know, like the kids' activities and as far as the rec committee and the conservation usually buying land.
Yeah.
But I do remember something about signage, like just like signing a route for the path versus, and that was something that was, I don't remember if there was money for it or if we just got a proposal for how much it would cost. I just vaguely remember that piece of it. That would basically show how to connect to the other
right.
paths, but.
So for four, we'll revisit this at the next meeting. We'll separate the park out and I'll try to have more information. The next one. The Berlin Town Center path. And I'll go from the update from Tom, which is, this is the project that's currently underway with design and construction with the 1.6 congressional directed spending grant from Senator Sanders' office. And the construction is expected to be complete by July of 2028. That's the one that I believe we're waiting on the final design.
That we'd revisit,
To see.
see the design.
Yep.
The line ship project. Right,
We're calling it a path?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that originally was supposed to be inside. The
I think at
town
least
center.
part of it was
That's where it
supposed to be inside,
Correct. Okay.
Sense.
because it was gonna connect to there's a study out there somewhere.
Mhm.
I don't have it, but, because I know we also wanted to connect to the CBMC
Mhm.
trails, behind their facility.
Okay.
So yes, this is definitely morphed, let's just say.
is there a hotkey for all the studies and what we spend on studies and
Well, yeah,
Not yet.
just curious, is that part of a plan moving forward to,
Yes, we're gonna talk about that maybe a little bit later tonight as
oh,
well.
wow.
usually, and there is typically a match, but usually we only do them if we get funding from somewhere. It's not like we typically, sometimes we do it for something that's absolutely necessary. That's urgent, but typically a study is gonna be the result of getting funds, state or federal funds, to look at an issue that specifically is, the state specifically has allocated for that purpose, studying certain issues.
Okay,
So it's not, and then yes, the town does have to commit usually 10% or 20%, depending on where the money's coming from. But we don't just allocate money to studies through from the general fund.
Right.
At randomly like that. It's more like, I think it's like I said, if something absolutely we needed to look at something to make a decision, we might, but it's otherwise it's taking advantage of funding that's specifically for certain like recreation or.
But if those projects don't end up going through, like, example, the ice rink, right? We spent money, I'm assuming, right, the taxpayer, it came out of the general fund to conduct what was conducted with that project, right? So is all of that, is there a line item that states ice rink project didn't go through, but we spent 30,000 on associated costs and fees and
Yeah,
applications?
we can look back and see what was spent on the ice rink and where it was spent. We can pull that out of the system.
I'm not
That, but-
singling that one out for
No,
any
but that's
particular
not-
reason.
The project,
As an
each
example.
project, we can
Yeah,
track that, but
But
to say it's easy at this point,
But to be fair, the ice rink is a little different in that spending occurred because there was a bond that was approved.
mhm.
And then it got more expensive.
Mhm.
So there was an approved bond that allowed them to spend the money.
Mhm.
But then because the select board felt like, there was arguments that it didn't need to be put back before the voters, but we felt like it needed to be, so we did. So anyway, but the point being, usually money doesn't get spent like that unless the project, that is from a study, unless the project has been moved forward and the funding's identified.
Mhm.
So it's not typical that we would have out-of-pocket expenses for design and construction.
and hopefully going forward, this process that we're trying to put in place, we iron it out. We'll take care of that to make sure that.
I mean, every time I hear the
Everybody's well
word
there.
study, to me, it's just associated costs. Nobody works for free.
Right,
It doesn't happen,
correct.
you know,
True.
there's.
No, it's definitely money spent.
Mhm.
We may be at our cutoff too for this.
I just want to go to the town center path. We're gonna revisit at the final drawing.
Yeah.
I want to go to number 6, just real quick. It should be an easy one to end on.
Okay.
Joe, do you want to talk about the 2 generators for the hazard mitigation? No?
The 2 generators for the hazard mitigation.
Yeah. No? I thought you were
Like
involved with that one.
there.
No,
Okay, so maybe it wasn't an easy one.
no, that's correct.
Yeah, okay. So there's 80,000 planned for that currently for 2030,
Mhm.
right? So we need to budget so much a year up until 2030 for the generators, for the replacements.
Are we backing up a second? Or are we going forward?
Yeah, no, we're gonna stop here.
Okay, I'll save it till next time.
But you got a comment?
Well, there's just 3 things listed here that aren't on this list.
Oh, tell me.
The Berlin Town Center, number 6, Town Green. Berlin Recreation Facility and Riverton TOD.
So the rec facility, that's the one that got shot down, right?
That's what I thought was.
That would've been the one that-
Yeah, that would
here,
have been
yeah.
nice, right?
Yeah, that one was
Scratch.
So
canceled.
we lacked
I
funding.
think one
for
of
that.
those was completed already. What was this?
The number 6, Town Green.
Oh, the Riverton is that the study
Riverton
that,
TOD.
is that the transportation oriented development
Yeah,
study?
that's the Riverton
So
study.
that's,
Is that done?
it's been, it's done and been put on hold as far as going any further.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
But it says in progress, so I don't know if we were spending money on that. This is in progress. Okay,
But we shouldn't be at this point.
and the Town Green is done?
No, that's a town center thing that probably not gonna happen in the near future, so I don't know what we're gonna do with that.
Because this says 2026.
Yeah, it says 2026 on this one.
There was, in the original proposal for the new town center, there was a town green over toward Coles and I think I think the wetland, the revised wetland
Yeah, it may have been killed.
stuff.
That's a good point, though. I'll contest that. I think that's too much. It's been killed, but.
Thanks for asking, Brian. Good questions.
Okay. Right here. So I'll pick up there from the next meeting. So. I'm glad we started early because we don't need to be done until June.
Oh,
I'm having a great time.
there's plenty of time left.
Yeah, it's only May 11th.
I don't want to sleep on.
No, he's saying we can
Not
keep
sure.
going tonight, is
Not
what he's
sure.
saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting warmed up here.
There's too much in executive.
Just real quick, from the board's perspective, right? Refining this tool. If you have any feedback or comments, send them to me. I'll work with the consultant. Again, the idea is to make a good, smooth process
Mhm.
that works. So, send me the criticism, what works and what doesn't, and we'll try to tweak it. But again, the whole idea is to get a solid process in place
Mhm.
to stop any surprises and if there's
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah, thank you, man.
alignment. So, okay, stop with that one at this point.
All right, minutes from April 15th, and select board minutes,
Actually, the 22nd.
and the 22nd, select board minutes.
I haven't read it.
What are we doing first? I just have a comment on the April 15th.
What's that other one file?
You guys picked it up in the last meeting. I picked it up for this one. The regular select board meetings on the 15th, it should be the 2nd and the 4th.
Mhm.
I've already made those changes on behalf of the board, so. Got me on that one last time, so I wanted to make sure you had to find something else to get me on this time.
And I just added the word "to" under site visit to Mirror Lake Road in the next to last sentence. It starts Louise will move. Louise will move to allow. But otherwise, I make the motion to approve the special select board meeting minutes, making the change of the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month and adding in the word "to" the next to last sentence right after the word "move."
Huh?
Did you find out one?
I've seen it, that one. That's the other one I was worried about.
I'll second. All in favor?
Thank you, though, Brian.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
That was easy.
April 22nd.
So third
Third
paragraph.
paragraph, yep, sorry,
Oh.
go ahead. Nope,
Were you
go
gonna
ahead.
say third paragraph, second page?
Yes,
Boy, that was rude. That was,
mention.
thanks. Yeah, mention should be motion. Chair Felch made a mention.
Oh, second paragraph?
Third.
Third paragraph.
Third paragraph? Made a mention. Made a motion. Okay, got it.
Oh. I think that's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep, just the one. Like that.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, I'll have to approve the minutes of April 22nd with that edit.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Approval of license permits, vouchers, applications.
Where's the-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
oh, the-
Would you like to look around?
I can do
You
it.
guys just like my voice.
I have to do the executive session, probably.
Okay. All right, here we go. Payroll warrant 2623 for payroll from April 19th, 2026 to May 2nd, 2026. To be paid on May 6th, 2026 in the amount of $85,814.81. Payable warrant 26G28 with check number 26108 265,150 in the amount of $133,824.87. Payable warrant 26S20 with check number 4663 to 4670 in the amount of $17,296.71. Payable warrant 26G29 with e-check number E0009 to E0009 in the amount of $3,900.
I do. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
VT Can. Believe, sent you an email earlier on
I
that.
answered it earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for 4614.
yeah.
I didn't totally, I was kind of in a hurry when I read through that.
No, that's okay.
Just a quick. Did anybody else have a question about that one or no?
So the listers had some work for the town attorney to make sure everything was in order with the statutes and the laws and the way. It's only the second one they've ever done as well. So there was some time there, and then there was some follow-up time for me with them as well, for me with the attorney regarding the pilot program and our policy for that, in the best method to move forward with that. So again, he had more hours with the listers than he did with me, but time adds up quick.
Didn't some of that pertain to that project? Or the tax stuff for the animal?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That is, yeah.
so. Okay. Maybe I missed something there. They don't want to pay taxes, but it just cost us $4,600.
And attorney fees to, sort it out. So on that note, regarding the pilot, right, I had sent them a note, letting them know that we have a pilot program and that if they want to discuss that with us, they need to let me know so I can inform the board.
Okay.
And I have heard nothing. And I sent this on April 28th. I haven't got a response back yet.
I kind of agree with you that if
They should pay.
they should pay the legwork if there needs to be legwork done on something like that. Because
I don't know.
that's a lot of money.
Oh, I don't disagree.
And then they don't want to pay taxes, right?
I think we should
Correct.
On top of it.
be a
So
little bit, maybe a little bit more selective on what we ask the town attorney to do if it's gonna be that kind of cost. Because we only budget a small amount, a
I know.
relatively small.
I know.
I mean, to me, that's a pretty
It's
good.
sizable.
And then to take that out of the, essentially the grand list, right? They won't be paying tax. Are they subject to paying the 1% options tax based on every? No,
No,
They have to pay a payment in lieu of taxes. I don't know what that will look like, but they have to make one of those. I don't know how much that will be.
and that might have been, this all might have been discussed at that meeting.
I gave them the calculation.
But you did?
Right? I got the calculation from the treasurer. And,
No,
it's $9,844.
A year.
Mhm.
So they're gonna
Pilot.
pay something. It's just they're not gonna pay the tax
If they
rate.
decide to move forward or not. And
Yeah.
again,
What's it on the list for currently? Do we know, the building?
I don't know. I didn't. I'm
So they pay 9,800
in pilot.
as a pilot payment
a year.
a year.
Okay,
But I was surprised at that amount as well,
seems like a lot.
Actually, I might have that note somewhere with the,
just to sort through that.
Right, that's the tax assessment, yeah, tax municipal rate. Okay, no, I don't have that. I don't have the building, the values.
What is it currently that's in there? I know this, I think was said once, or maybe at the previous meeting. What's the space that they're occupying or looking to occupy?
It's up on airport.
And what's in there now? Do you know? Darren?
What was in there? There's nothing in.
No, there's nothing in
Oh,
there
it's-
now.
Been vacant for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
What was in there? Was it insurance?
No, that,
No.
I thought it was that building, but it's not. It's a
I
different-
thought it was something.
Oh, isn't that the professional,
I thought it was something to do with
the one
that.
next to Lague's, the
Yes.
professional?
Institute of Professional
No.
Practice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
I believe so.
Yeah.
They were-
That's the one. For
They were,
I do believe that is
I
it.
think you're right.
they were exempt.
Yeah,
as well.
they were exempt as well.
Correct.
Right.
Since that's, hasn't been occupied for that purpose, are they on the hook for paying the property owner? Or landowner, building owner?
It's still
Owned by
carried
the
by them, by the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So they're still exempt.
Okay.
Gotcha. And what our lawyer said, or the attorney said, is that they can apply for this, correct?
For the tax exemption,
Correct.
yes.
Yeah.
But that's why I reached out regarding the pilot as well, right? Before I sent anything saying that we have a pilot.
Yeah.
How does that need to look going to them as well? And so that's why I went out, but yes. So they have this, but they haven't responded yet, so. Because they have the option to come in and discuss it with the board as well. If they can't, pay the full amount, maybe they will pay a smaller amount. We'll be talking about some more of that again here in the round table.
Where's the legal fee?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if anybody wants a copy of the statutes, I can make you a copy or whatever. I do have those.
So I'll pretend I seconded before the discussion, but.
Do we have a motion?
Didn't he already?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he already read it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Sorry.
I was a little slow there.
So second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh. We used to pass the whole envelope around. So I was confused when you hand me pieces of paper.
No, sorry.
Thank you, Carmen. Oops, sorry.
It hit a lot harder.
This is a soft hit.
We can move to roundtable.
We're roundtable now?
Yes, sir. Would you like to begin?
I'm sure I'll start. Got my notes here. I would just like to check in about a website update. I don't know if that's been. How far along we've got with that. I don't know if we can have some kind of. Here we are now, official kind of presentation of whoever's working on that. I think Will is right now. I would just like to see website,
Website.
where we're at with that.
Yeah. So just a quick update on that. He is doing some work on the platform that we currently have. We're looking at another platform that's designed for municipalities called Devise as well. I have a conversation with them on Friday. Anybody that wants to participate, I can send you the invite. I think it's Friday morning around 9 o'clock. We have a Teams call with them. They're gonna tell us how wonderful they are, and we'll see their cost seems to be comparable to the platform that we have. And if you look at some other sites that are powered by Revise, it's definitely a bit more user-friendly than what we currently have.
We'll be able to set a timeline of after that meeting, you think? A timeline of when,
Well, what I'll do is, if it makes sense, I'll bring a proposal to the board and I'll have them give a board presentation of what they can and can't do. And then maybe even start, if it looks like it's something that the board wants to entertain, we can start talking about costs and how to transfer over and a timeline at that point. I think it's too preliminary and, I may try to look at and get it one or maybe two more. There's a few out there. Revise was at the top of the list, but there's a list of about 6 that actually I'll give William credit, put together from doing some searching. He had a list of the top 6. And again, we'll get one to see if we want to bite. And if we do, then we'll go for 2 more and we'll look at the 3 and maybe ask them all to bid.
Did Joe mention anything about one of his guys?
Joe has one of his guys
Yeah.
as well. That'll be another separate conversation. I don't think it's going to be as a packaged deal as one of these others, but again,
Right.
it's someone that we can talk to. It has some potential.
Yeah.
And
I'm
again, once
curious.
we do a preliminary, they'll come to the board.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they
I'll bring them
actually,
to the board.
it's in addition to being a platform, would help to create the new site on their platform.
Don't know the answer to
Oh,
that
okay.
yet. That's one of the questions I have for them on Friday. Should they be chosen to go with? How long and what would it take for them to move our site over?
And the maintenance and
Yeah,
all.
yeah, there's a yearly fee with that. Like with this one, we have a yearly fee and we have a site manager. For lack of a better term, that's what he is. If we have any questions, concerns, we contact this guy and he manages us through it. It's just that their platform isn't as user friendly.
Mhm.
okay, thank you.
That was like one of my roundtable items was to update you on that, but now I don't have to.
Jumped right to it.
I'll bring it up next time. Carla?
That's it?
That's it.
So I just want to inform the town garage was at the DRB the other night. And one of the questions that was asked or the issues that was discussed was solar on the roof of the town garage. And the off the top of his head estimate was about $60,000. But I don't know if that was just for the town garage, to power the town garage, or if that was enough to power this town office as well. But I wanted to raise the issue because I learned after the meeting that the $1 million award that we got from Becca Balance office was, these were 5 criteria that were key to the award. Centralization, so basically merging public works, road crew, et cetera, modernization, improve, basically modern building, sustainability, and it talks about a rooftop solar. So, and then flood mitigation and location, and then community markets and events. So there was a discussion about using the garage for other types of events in this proposal, which really is like touch a truck, like have the kids come, that kind of thing. So I'm telling you this because essentially the pedestrian access piece, which I was kind of like, why do we need pedestrian access? Which is only going to cost $5,000. I know it's $5,000, but because it's essentially already existing. It's just a short piece of new pavement or new concrete that has to go in to connect. Otherwise, it's already existing. It's just going to be marked. And then the 60,000. So essentially what I'm looking at is an email that says, I hope that the $65,000 is a good exchange for $1 million. So I just bring that to you because I don't think that's been approved. And I think it's something that we should consider. And we obviously can't make a decision tonight because it's not on the agenda, is is including the solar piece. Or at least getting an estimate from the construction people on what that solar is gonna look like, both for just the town garage and to power the entire campus. How much that's gonna cost and what, so that we can at least factor that in to the decision.
So I did that.
Oh, you did?
It's more like 140,000.
Oh. Is that for just the garage or for the
Pretty much.
campus?
That would, more bigger is more.
this building.
Did you have it in writing that we can look at? Or did you just get a verbal?
I know what East Montpelier's cost. And theirs was like between 130, 140. And theirs is only 50K to do their garage, nothing else. And that would be about what would be needed over there.
Was it,
I mean, we can go out and look for more, but. I mean,
was that when they built the building or was that
their
adding to the
building is
building?
being processed right now. They're not
Okay.
in their building, it's not there in their solar.
I just didn't know if they had to add structural or anything like that to accommodate the solar.
Theirs
Change the
was built-
structural.
Theirs was built with the intent for solar.
Okay, because this is also built for the intention of solar, so there's no structural changes, it's just adding the panels or whatever the additional costs are. So I would be interested to see what the person presenting, why, where they would get an estimate, but because obviously, like I said, it was off the top of his head, he wasn't, but he said they'd already looked into it and it was supposedly gonna be around $60,000.
Can I comment on that?
Yes, go ahead. Yep.
So I want to throw something out there to consider, right? So the garage is designed to support solar. Should it be decided to do now, we can do it later, but the opportunity is there. It's built into the garage, right? We just talked about having to do something with this building. Whatever that is going to require additional work at that time, right? And I know it went to the DRB as well. There's been a lot of discussion about the regulation or the requirements for landscaping as well, right?
Mhm.
My thoughts and recommendations are, we need the garage like right now at the best cost that we can get it, and we need the garage now, right? We're going to do something. We're going to have to do something with this building in probably the next 3 years, maybe 5 at a stretch. At that time, right, we can decide if we want to put solar out there to power that, because we don't know what the size of this building is yet. We could make it too big. We could make it too small. We don't know what this is going to look like in the next 3 to 5 years.
Or we could just power the garage.
Or we could just power the garage now, right? Because again, costs are probably going to go up, right? But again, I think we need to look a little more globally at what's going on right here, right now, and make the right decisions going forward based on what we think is going to happen, including the landscaping. It's going to be expensive. We're talking about now that the DRB has said that this whole area basically takes into account with that new garage build. And we're talking about the requirements for trees down the road, trees over here.
No, okay, back
So-
up.
Yeah.
What they're saying is because you can't put it in between
Yep.
the building.
Yeah, but we don't.
I'm not saying I agree with the landscaping requirements, but what I'm telling you is that they can look to make a, to
I
do it
agree.
over there.
I
As
agree.
opposed to putting it between.
That's what I'm
the
saying. We're
building.
talking about putting landscaping around here. Is now the right time to do that when we know in the next 3 years, we're gonna be doing something here that's gonna require landscaping? Right? We can make the design now and get the design approved, but do we need to spend the money to install it now when it may be in the way
Well,
with what we build here?
the answer is if the DRB requires it, it has to be done now. And I think
get
it's
it.
crazy because
But-
the town is the DRB and the DRB, but
But even with that, we have the ability to appeal if we have a reasonable case to do that. I don't, personally, I don't think we should do the landscaping here now until we know what this building's gonna look like. And I'm not sure, unless we decide to do the solar just for the garage, that we do that now. It's designed to accept it at any time, but we don't know the size if we want to do it in the future with the new building, right? That's my concern.
But are
Again,
our hands tied with taking this grant?
no, that grant has already gone to the Senate for approval. It made it through the second cut and the only thing left is for it to be either cut out of the bill that goes to Senate to be approved or be approved.
Okay,
Right,
I'm
but
gonna
it-
send you
and-
all
and we-
this
We
information.
have the ability, right, even for the grant, we have the ability to install solar at a later time, should it be necessary, but the accommodations to do it are built in. They're already there.
So this isn't, so
It's
just
not gonna,
to clarify,
not gonna stop us. There's no that grant.
okay, thank you.
I would
That
want to see that
sounds-
in writing.
That's fine, but I've talked to those people as well myself.
Because I just want, this came from them saying why we got the money. I'll
And
share it
when?
with everyone.
How
And-
long
and
ago
the
did they send
paperwork
it?
that we put in to
Just a
get
couple
that,
Days ago, okay.
the paperwork that we put in to get that got us that money. At this.
Right, what, I mean,
We're not at
and what,
risk.
I guess what I'm saying is, we don't want to be putting things into a grant application to get money and then not doing them.
The design is built in to that to add solar. It doesn't have to be installed today, is my point. A grant does not require it to be
Okay,
installed today.
I'm just saying, I don't want to accept money under false pretenses.
We're not. We're not.
Because it's part of the design and because it's in the design, that's how that qualified for that grant. Okay.
We can.
Well, it's not that it required that, it's that the case we made for the money, this is just congressional directed spending.
Mhm.
There's no grant application or, this is just you put in a proposal to get money and you tell why it should be, why should you fund me and not Northfield?
Right.
And those were some of the arguments that were made to get the money.
Correct.
So I'm just trying to say, we want to make sure we're fulfilling our obligations if we're asking for money under certain circumstances.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I'm glad you brought it forward because if you're getting the email and you got it a couple of days ago.
Well, no,
it was
Tom
worded-
sent this to me.
Oh, I see.
To-
Okay, very good. That
Because
helps
after the
me.
meeting, he
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that the select board,
Excellent.
this came before the select board, so he asked me to bring it before. the select board.
Wonderful. That helps me in
Yeah.
understanding. Thank you.
No, I didn't get the notification. I just got it from Tom.
From Tom, so that helps. Thank you.
That's enough.
Fair enough. Anybody else? Flo,
No, I'm deferring tonight.
Chris?
I have a question on the state project down here. Are they under all the same rules and regulations and guidelines that
The garage?
yeah,
And, under what do you mean? They're not subject to this, to all the zoning regulations. The state's exempt from certain parts of the zoning regulations.
Yeah.
We can only review the project for certain criteria.
so we, on our garage, we have to abide by our laws, but the state doesn't have to
Exactly.
Yeah,
with their
You got
garage
it.
in Berlin.
because of a grandfather clause.
Yeah, it's a sweet
Because the state
program.
exempts itself from certain aspects of the town.
Why
zone.
can't the town exempt ourselves?
We don't have that ability to make, create legal statutes.
So. Oh, anyway,
Are you all set?
yeah. Nothing more.
So I just have a couple of things to update that on. We've had so much fun talking about Vermont can tax exemption that the Good Samaritan has applied for tax exemption as well. That being said, we were supposed to have a meeting with them every year because they agreed to a pilot program, but it was kind of a pay as you go, right? Each year they were supposed to come before the board and let us know if they could pay all of it, some of it, or none of it. We offered a letter that the previous board decided to have with them as a formal agreement, but they were uncomfortable signing it. So it was just documented in the minutes that, they would have an annual meeting and their director at the time, board of directors at the time, Van Osdal, was putting in an item in agenda in front of his board of directors regarding coming to a select board annually. I don't think that's happened once yet as well. And with the board's permission, I would reach out to the board of directors or to the Good Samaritan to ask them to come before the board. And maybe have a discussion again and reach an agreement with them regarding the pilot program as well. Because it's,
So can you back up? Are they paying taxes or are they paying
I don't think they've,
pilot?
other than the first year, Callie, correct me if I'm wrong?
I would have to look.
You'd have to look,
at the
okay.
grand list and see if they're active or inactive with a statute in there.
Yeah.
Because it sounds as though you said that we would have a discussion about if they could pay the pilot amount.
Correct.
So has they already been approved for that?
For the tax exempt?
Yeah.
Well, we've got the application out, but as far as the state goes, it'll be,
No, but I mean, I
Similar
guess
to
I'm confused
DCAD.
if they already went through that process with the select board the first time that they came before. us.
yeah, I don't know if they went through that.
And I can't,
But I believe they did. I think that's what started the conversation back then. And they had a verbal agreement, right, with the board, to visit that every year.
And there hasn't been a meeting since.
Correct.
In how many years?
I'm aware of.
3, 4?
This minutes of meeting where they agreed to it was in December of 21.
Wow.
I,
Last?
So
Kelly,
we can
can you give
find out, but
get an update on what they paid
if
for
anything.
taxes?
Is that
Yeah.
in the pilot program? I'm very green on this. Is that a flat rate for
No,
everybody that
there's a formula
qualifies?
for calculating
There is.
the payment in lieu of taxes.
Okay.
And I had it here.
This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that we presented them with a pilot agreement and they wouldn't sign it because they didn't know if they were gonna be able to make the payment. And so now they're just not paying anything? Is
Have to look.
what I'm hearing, but I don't know if that's correct.
Mhm.
Cause they are technically exempt, right? They don't have to pay
Correct,
taxes.
correct.
Mhm.
Technically,
So
they're.
usually we reach an agreement where they pay a certain amount through the pilot
We did.
program.
They agreed to pay
Well-
something,
What would you pay?
but they were supposed to visit it every year. That's why I think they paid the first year. I don't think there was ever a follow-up meeting after
Okay.
that, with the board to see where they stood. And again, my understanding, the way it was written as well, they were supposed to reach out to us to get on the agenda to come in and have that talk, not us.
Well, we can
After
never
that.
rely
I
on.
guess what's the incentive to pay if they don't have to? They don't, I wouldn't
I mean, they
expect,
still,
I wouldn't expect them
they
to show up.
basically still use the town services, and so there is. I guess I don't know exactly the answer to your question legally, but usually they want to be good.
Oh, we want to be good neighbors and good partners.
And they do
and
use our services
They,
just like
they came in
anybody
here,
else.
they came in and met with the board multiple times when they were going through the purchase and getting set up. I do know that, so.
And this reminds me, while we're on this topic, just because I had a resident ask me and I actually forgot, so I apologize about that. But the resident was wondering if we as a select board should be making the decision regarding like BT Can or what we're talking about now, others, or whether we should bringing that forward as a floor vote for residents to weigh in. And I wasn't sure how to answer that, so I defer that to you. and town
That's a good question.
It is a good question. That's what I said to the individual, but I didn't know how to respond. I didn't have any background knowledge as to,
I'd have to look at the state statute, but the state statute, I think
They
has
did
the
that.
guidelines for that.
Mhm,
And
mhm. I thought perhaps they,
Business that has to be exempt and
Mhm.
they put it on the ballot.
mhm. And so the individual was questioning that, and it was a valid, I thought it was a very valid question, so if you could, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And then, once you determine that, I can follow back up with the individual, so that would be great. Just came to me, so. Thank you.
that should be an easy answer and not take a lot of time.
Thank you.
Attorney.
It won't be 46 and change.
It shouldn't be. If it is, you better look for my replacement.
Oh, you're not getting off that exact, no. I'll bail you out for a few thousand if I need to.
Tax exempt. Just a reminder, the site tour on the bus tomorrow starts at 4 out here.
Mhm.
And we had the Pearland dedication on Saturday morning.
How did that go? I wanted to go,
Good. There
but I
was
had another
several,
commitment.
several family members. I think one of them was from Washington State that flew in for the.
Huh. Oh, that's
for that.
nice.
No,
It
the plaque
sounded
looked
like-
good up. The plaque looks good up there on the rock
Awesome.
and
So glad it happened.
They were pretty happy also with it, so.
Awesome. How many attended
Oh, boy.
roughly?
From the family, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, at least 8 from the family.
That's great.
2 or 3 from the Conservation Commission, I think.
Mhm.
So maybe a dozen in all.
That's great.
Awesome. Yeah. That's all I had for the round table.
I saw something on the property across from the sewer plant. I don't know where it was in my information overload. I believe it was from the Recreation Committee.
The sewer plant in Montpelier
Yeah,
on the property down there.
where did I speak? Oh,
It is?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah, they're talking about coming to the board and asking to maybe have that as a
Okay,
recreation field of some sort. No structures really or anything, but some ball fields.
yeah.
Old ball fields?
Mhm.
Well, they'd be new ball fields.
No, but
Well-
I'm saying where the old ball fields were.
No,
No.
this is where, down across from,
Sure.
on the Berlin side, across the railroad tracks.
Oh, okay,
Where that,
Dog River Road.
the old
Yep.
farmhouse and barn are coming down,
okay,
that property.
okay.
Junction Road.
Mhm.
Not far from that.
Oh, I thought,
Not far.
Right in the same area as the Montpelier ones.
Yes.
I thought it was across the sewer plant. They want to do like a pump track or something. It's a terrible idea. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Okay.
I have a couple things. The first is, and maybe you can correct me if I can bring this up now or not, but the zoning administrator, just something that I
If it's a round table and no decision is gonna be made, you can talk about whatever you like.
So hiring committee, we've kind of been talking about the hiring committee.
Thank you.
My recommendation kind of goes along with what Vince was saying, limiting the number of people on the hiring committee. My proposal or recommendation would be is to have 5 people. One being the town administrator. One being, well, 2 being other staff. I believe that I had suggested like the town clerk being one of them and then another staff member. And then 2 members of our select board. My suggestion would be having 1 from previous board and 1 new board member on that. Because at the end of it, we'll all be here for those final picks
Right.
to then hire who is going to be our new zoning administrator. So that's my recommendation, is that we limit it to 5, and then those 5 bringing from different parts of our town and elected officials, rather than being all 5 of us plus the town administrator plus a couple staff. I think it may be overwhelming for that process.
I'm okay with that, for sure. It works. Again, as long as we have consistency in the process, right? Because, there's been, again, so I've been told there's been issues in the past, right? That didn't always follow a process very well, and people would always say, gee, he got hired or she got hired because she was somebody's friend or relative or had connections, whatever the case may be. We just don't need that, right? So however we do it, as long as we do it consistently, we ask them all the same questions, we use the scoring system and we all score them independently, and then we take the top scores, rise to the top, and we go from there. That's my only concern. So there's no opportunity to say, oh, no, you guys had favoritism when you picked this one or that one or whatever. We don't need that headache. I don't want that headache.
And with that recommendation, I would still step aside and allow other members be a part of that and look forward to the final decisions.
We have to be, what is it? Fair and impartial
Right.
decisions.
Well, and I think that kind of goes along with that, is if we're all on the hiring committee, selecting it down to 2 or 3 or however many we get down to. And then all coming back to then we're deciding. I think it just shows that this board is willing to grab some staff members, administrator, 2 select board members, and have that committee. Just my recommendation.
I would like to be honest, simply because I've been on the DRB and the planning commission for so long, I've worked I know most closely what that position does. I also think it's good to have another perspective from somebody that hasn't, but I just feel like having worked with them for 15 years, I at least have a good understanding of what the position does.
Yeah.
And I agree, and I defer so that Carla can, because that makes sense to your suggestion in theory. And I was the last person to say I wanted to be involved, and I wanted to be involved from the beginning, but I didn't want too many to be involved. So once everyone was going to participate, it sounded like it was an issue once I said I too wanted to be, but I do believe that Carla would be the best, and given you said one from the past and one from the current. So I think you would be great on it, Carla.
Thank you.
I'd recommend Chris for the board as well.
I'll take that.
Yes, I think it will go really well, and we will all be involved in the end,
Yeah.
so.
And you know, my strong points aren't from the
Yes.
administrative side
Yeah.
so much as.
Practical.
Absolutely.
I
I
appreciate,
think that will be really great.
The nuts and the bolt.
yeah. I think that's good. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I think that's something that we can start moving forward with.
I'm gonna just.
Definitely,
recommend from the
because we
staff
wanted
side,
to.
The clerk and the treasurer.
That makes total sense.
How do you feel, Kelly?
I think Kyle wanted to be the chair of the committee, but.
I defer to the assistant treasurer.
So we can move forward with that and.
Yeah,
start that
absolutely.
process.
I'll get that moving a little bit quicker now.
And it's so wonderful that we've had so
Got
many
a lot of-
people apply.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and that we've all been able to review them and give our feedback, et cetera, and points of view.
Not over yet. We're
Suggestions.
Soliciting some more input.
Well, it's just really good. We've all participated widely with that, so I commend everybody for that.
And that the applications are getting forwarded, which sometimes didn't happen in the past.
Yes, we appreciate that. You've done well, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Great job, Vince.
Everybody, not just me.
Vince, do you want me to bring up the other dog issue, or do you want to, on?
I'd like to give them the opportunity to see if they've addressed it first.
Okay.
And then we can talk about it. I don't think we need to
Just real quick, just overview, we had an incident happen,
another one.
with another dog, and so it was sent to me today, so I wanted to bring it up to you guys that we did have an incident.
I would just recommend that maybe you get back to the person that brought it to you, so
Yeah.
they know it hasn't fallen on deaf ears, that we're gonna take it to the police. We believe there may be more incidents, but we're not sure yet. We'll let them do an investigation, and then if there's any action that needs to be taken, we can always let them know or get back to them at that point in time, but I'm pretty sure there may have been some, in the past, a couple of calls down there to that same area for that same dog.
Okay.
99% sure, but let's see where they're at on it.
So I'll email the resident back and just let them know that,
Yeah, we're
moving
gonna look
forward
into
with the
we're looking
process.
into it
and
and
Yeah.
see where we're at.
thank you. That's all I have.
You might want to send me a reminder too.
I will send it.
Please.
Yes.
So two wonderful financial things just that came in late this afternoon. We did get our next lot payment today for about $262,000.
Awesome.
So that is in. And the stream bank stabilization grant that we got for the 2023 flood, so 765 Jonesbrook Road, 963 Jonesbrook Road, and a property on Route 12. We had to close that out, and we received our final reimbursement today, a little over 117,000.
Awesome.
There's another stream bank one that's still out there.
That one's 2024.
Okay, so
Separate,
23.
separate
Okay.
one, yeah. They-
I just wanna make sure that we haven't,
Your friend.
because she's
Yeah.
supposed.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure she gets it worked out.
This one is totally
Cleared
separate.
that out.
Oh, good.
That email, right?
Well, you told me that they're still
Yeah.
planning it
Yeah,
and that the other place is still matching.
correct.
And I did respond to Jenny.
You did tell her,
so,
okay,
yeah.
perfect. Yeah, that one's,
No, thank you, Callie. That's awesome.
yep, it's good news. It's higher than we thought it would be.
Good news.
It's a while, so.
Ally?
Are we going into executive session or are we
Oh, yeah.
ready?
All good with that?
Yeah, right.
We're yawning yet, we're just getting started.
Huh?
Yawn yet.
It's halftime right now, and we're getting ready to go to the second half.
Very good.
Yeah, where's the food truck? I mean.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Yep, we're ready.
You want 10 bucks? Give him a call.
Yeah, drag that thing out the hill.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening. Oh.
Just noticed it. Oh, we have to read it first.
Yeah.
We aren't gonna make, we aren't making any decisions, are we?
Love it, Kathy.
Have a good night.
Discussion, no decision.
Okay, you gotta do the motion now. I gotta,
Okay.
sorry.
I didn't hear a motion. Okay.
Have a good evening.
So I move to find that premature general public knowledge of the police union. Oh,
Please, I'm recording.
oh, sorry, okay.
Blue light still on.
Go ahead, Carl.
I move to find that premature general public knowledge of the police union contract negotiations will place the town at a substantial disadvantage pursuant to 1 BSA 313A1. I need a second.
I second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed?
I make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the town's police union contract negotiations pursuant to 1 VSA 313A1A.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?